FOFANA saves Potter, gives him more time, and we have Captain Keppa leading us to victory. Ladies and gents, well.
Oh,
He actually did it.
you know what? Fofana can't say
Oh,
Marshall.
That's what you get.
Yeah,
Today.
see, the
Oh,
line killed him.
Jesus.
The line
What you
killed his
get for
computer.
saying Kepler?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Captain Kepper, you know.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna tone it down then. I'm gonna tone it down. Welcome to Casually Chelsea, or Casually FC match reaction to Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Pretty much to sum up the game, we went out on a 3-4-3. No, 3-5-2. Wait, it was 3-4-3, right? It was 3-4-3.
We played a
I have
3-4-3
no
to start
idea.
with.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know.
anyway,
But we
it was a
played
3 at the
at
back
the
at
back.
least.
Yeah, it was a 3 at the back, Fofana
Yeah.
at the right, Badiashile on the left, and we had Koulibaly in the middle of it,
Koulibaly.
directing the play. And we couldn't finish. First half, we just couldn't finish our meals. You know, we couldn't.
Hey,
we had
don't
all
mention
the
that about
meals,
defense, though.
finish it.
Defense can finish.
Defensively, we were solid. I was really impressed with the defense. Come out, second half, corner from Chilwell. Fofana puts it away, redeems himself from the one he missed in the first half. And that's the goal that wins us the game. Then we sit back for the rest of the game and play like modern day Burnley, or modern day Everton now, because Sean Dyche is at Everton.
Show
But
some respect to Burnley. Burnley is good now.
yeah, that right there is the result of the game. Before we go ahead and analyze it even further, guys, make sure you're smashing that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the links in the description. Hit the bell notification so you miss out when we do stream. We have memberships as well available, as well as the super chat. 4 different tiers for memberships. You get emojis that go along exclusively for this channel that you can use. They're really fun emojis, so make sure you check those out as well. And yeah, if you're watching this in the future, leave a comment. But yeah, overall, my opinion on the game. Look, we played like shit for the most part. I mean, it was kind of the same like performance. I think a little worse. I think worse than Dortmund. Like in the sense of like
we had a cracking first half.
We had a good first half.
God.
We looked creative. We looked like we were trying to score, and obviously Jack Phillips is the post. Kai Havertz, you know, 1-on-1 couldn't put it past the keeper. And there was chances in that game. Enzo looked great today. Going forward, defensively questionable. The defense in the back, Badiashile, all of them looked phenomenal. I was really impressed with Koulibaly. I would argue he's my man of the match today. Kovacic had good moments, and then the wing backs today. Saw Ruben Loftus-Cheek just did a job at right wing back. That's all you could ask for with Ruben. You can't ask for really much more. You said it best during that Discord call, Andrew. That's just Ruben for you. Does everything right, and then there's those moments where like, fuck, just the quality's not there because he's not that kind of a player. And then we saw Chilwell on the left, bombing forward, doing the left wing back job really well. And then, you know, Havertz is being Havertz. Everything's okay up until where he has to actually score, and he doesn't do it. Felix, I think, had a decent performance today. Overall, I think that second half it's just embarrassing because that's where Chelsea's at right now, where we have to defend a 1-0 lead 60 minutes into the game, which is really unfortunate against a Leeds that's near relegation. But at the end of the day, I am content that we got a result. I'm not happy with the performance per se, but maybe this could be the beginning of some type of momentum, hopefully praying something can happen from this. But boys, whoever wants to go first.
Listen, I need
Chris.
to go first on this. I have to go first on this, man.
All right, Ahmed and Chris.
Listen, yeah, that second half, yeah, I can't lie to you, but after the goal was haram football, bro. That is illegal. That's a blasphemy, Lord, in that game. Like the three at the back, 4 at the back, for me, it didn't really matter. Obviously, we looked a bit more solid, but we were still shaky. Leeds had some really good chances towards the end of the first half, and even you could argue at some parts of the first half. But we had our chances. The Havertz 1v1. I mean, that's not even a chance. That's always going to be missed. We had the João Felix hitting the bar. We were pretty good at corners, but overall, man, it just felt like watching a Tottenham game. It really just felt like watching a Tottenham game for me, barring except that we scored a goal. That's what it felt like to me. Position for position's sake. We weren't really creating any chances. The middle of the pitch seems to be another issue. We can't connect for some reason there. At times in the first half, you could see it, even in the second half once as well. But at the end of the day, we got the result. But I think Bowley said it best. It's a result. That's all it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, the performance was not great.
Right.
Chris?
Well, I'm actually disappointed because I didn't get the result I wanted. I wanted a draw or a loss because that would be the end for Potter, and I can see why I wanted him out, because you saw in the second half he literally played that defensively when he was doing pretty well. The team was doing pretty well, creating a few chances, actually attacking well, pinning Leeds behind. But no, he had to sit back and actually hold on for a draw. And we could actually messed up near the end because of Chilwell, what he did. He almost messed up. But yeah, it's typical, man. I always want Chelsea to win normally. They don't win. We normally lose. So today, I didn't want to win, and we got to win. So maybe I've got to keep praying for more losses, because maybe we might win. But yeah, I'm not going to feel ashamed of wanting a loss, because all I want is actually this manager gone and just, have him out of this club, because I don't want it. It's disappointing, but I am happy about this first half. We did play good football. FOFANA had a couple of chances. Kai Havertz had a good chance. But yeah, it was a good entertaining first half until Potter did this thing and just literally changed from a 3-4-3 to a 3-6-1, where we had to park the bus. So yeah, that was very hard to watch for me. So yeah, I did not like today. I just didn't. I didn't like it today, Marshall. But yeah,
I just what.
There's nothing to like.
What baffles me is that you understand that we can still win and Potter still gets sacked. We can have both things. We don't have to lose for Potter to get sacked.
That's not possible. You cannot sack a manager after winning a game. Come on.
You know you can. You 100% can.
You can.
No, but realistically, is that gonna happen though? Realistically,
you could.
They could.
I don't know, man.
You could. You heard Bowley's response. It's a result. Not good performance.
yeah.
Not
Fair.
good performance. Not great that we won. It's a result. This man, and let me just say something. I understand where Chris is coming from, and I would agree with you if we had more points on the board. All right, I would agree with you, but we don't. We needed that win today because afterwards, it's not a good schedule. So, I will say this: I got what I wanted today. In terms of forcing Potter out, I got a win, but we played shit. So, and this man is a coward, an absolute coward. From the 65th minute on, he was playing for 1-0 win. And we weren't even, it's not as if we were hanging on to 1-0 win or anything like that. We were comfortable, stuff like that. They weren't really doing, they were getting in it, but they weren't doing it. Kepa did not make any outstanding saves today whatsoever.
But he was the captain. Respect the captain.
Which is a disgrace in itself. I would have burned that captain's arm.
Captain, I couldn't believe it.
Poor Kappa.
I do agree. I like Kepa.
How the mighty have fallen.
Bro, they're handing out the captain's armband like it's fucking candy at the moment. They're giving it to every motherfucker possible.
He has the same amount of captaincies than Mason Mount now.
That captain's armband's getting handed out like a whore from Amsterdam, man. That's what it is. And I would just say this. From the 65th minute on, this man's choice in tactics and his substitutions were a disgrace. Okay? I understand going defensive if you go down to 10 men or something like that, okay? Or change it in a way it makes it a bit more defensive, a bit more solid. But to actually literally say on the 65th minute, we're done. We're done. We don't want anything else. We're not going to show any ambition or whatsoever. We're done. The fact that he took off Felix and Sterling at the same time and replaced them with Zakaria and Gallagher are whipped, so that's gone. The fact that Gallagher was the most even further up than Kai Havertz at some points in the second half was a goddamn disgrace. Okay, it's just this guy just showed no bottle, like always, And people are going to go. And people, hang on, people are going to go. Don't into the eruptions. Sorry, guys. I need to just do this without because you're going to cut my flow, and I'm not going to remember what I'm going to say. Yeah, please, for the rest of the stream. No, only joking. Just till I finish. You're my guy. But you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, the way he just... I understand Mourinho done it, but Mourinho done it for for reasons, right? He may have done it defensively, but he didn't go all out defense and say no, shut down or something like that. This guy, I mean, I know your job's on the line and everything like that, but winning for me won't keep this guy's job. Okay, he has to show me something different. What he did show me something different today. He showed me he's more of a coward than he is already. Okay, his substitutions were a disgrace today, an absolute disgrace today. Okay, Zakaria and Gallagher on for Felix and Sterling. Why? One of them maybe. Do you know what I mean? But don't keep on. You've got then what was it? Chukwuemeka on for Kovacic. I mean, what do you expect Chukwuemeka to do when what do you expect him to do? Do you know what I mean? What do you expect him? And what was the other ones? It was Chalobah and
Madueke.
Chalobah for Loftus-Cheek and Madueke for...
I can't remember who it was for.
Enzo, I think.
Enzo,
oh, yeah, Enzo.
Right?
Yeah.
It just we played 3-6-1. I don't even think it was 3-6-1. I think it was 5.
I know what it was. I know what it was because he's played that formation at Brighton. It was a 3-1-4-1-1. He's played it at Brighton before at the start of this season, but it wasn't the formation he played. It was how you used it. Like you said, the whole game, Leeds weren't offering anything. Like there was a couple of times where they got behind us, but they didn't threaten like really at all. Like have a meaningful chance. Their best chance came after we went defensive.
But if you're going to play one up front, it can't be Havertz. He doesn't hold up the ball. He's not fast. Why don't you bring if you're going to do that, bring Ober on and just hoof it. Do you know what I mean? Bring Fofana on and hoof it. Just do that. 65th minute, 1-0 up. At home to Leeds, who had like half chances. No real thing where you go. I think there was one where it went across the box, went across the penalty area and no one really connected to it. But that was it. That was it. That was the ambition of this guy. He played today as if he was back at Brighton when they went on one of those runs and they needed a win just to stop the rot happening, right? That's what he played, coward football today, okay? And I'm used to Chelsea playing defensive football. This wasn't defensive football for me. This was coward football. This was literally saying to the board, the £600 million you spent, I don't believe, we have really good attacking talent, or I don't recognise this attacking talent whatsoever. I mean, Madueke came on. I don't even know what he did. Really,
Madueke was decent.
I didn't notice it because we weren't playing any football.
The thing is, right, with the subs, bar Gallagher, the subs that came on were decent. It was just they were the wrong, it was the wrong mentality to go for it. It's so annoying because you had 65 minutes or 60 minutes, whatever it was, where we played well and there were positive things you could take from the game in terms we created a lot. It's the same nonsense in terms of, bro, Havertz doesn't know how to strike a ball in anger. He only knows the finesse shot. I tell you, anyone that's played FIFA, right, his RB or R1 is broken. It's constantly on. He only knows how to finesse shot. He doesn't know how to power it. Finesse shot every time. Finesse shot every time. He doesn't know how to power the football. When he's one-on-one, and I saw Lewis and I saw others tweet about it, there's no confidence that he's going to score. You've no confidence. None. Bro, this is what I felt when Morata was here. When Morata used to go 1v1, it was he's not scoring. There was that level of,
we were watching, and I was on with Marshall and Ahmed, and these guys, no, I don't know Ahmed did, but two of these guys are with others going, Havertz, they were excited that Havertz was going through and goal, and it's why?
Yeah.
Why?
I had to take myself after a while.
I'm like, when they haven't, I'm like, why are you getting hyped?
Yeah.
Well, you get excited because they're in a creative chance that any other striker you think puts it away. But you're right. No, Scott's right. Havertz doesn't have power to his shot. He's not. This is why I get frustrated when I see him play as a striker. Because again, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Scott. I just onto the Havertz thing. It's today, other than the actual part that he has to do, which is strike the ball and score a goal, I think he has decent link-up play with João Felix. I think he serves a purpose in the team. I just don't think as a 9, that's not going to work. I think he's useless.
Never look to his left.
You know what that, Marshall, do you know what that excuse doesn't fly with me anymore? He's been a striker now for 3 goddamn years. If you combine his time with Leverkusen and Chelsea, he's been a striker for about 3 years now. At what point do you just need to learn how to shoot the football? That's basic shit. You've got players that are You've got players at like relegation teams or championship level players who know how to put their foot through the football. Like it can't be that difficult. But like I agree with you as well in terms of, like his link up play was good and like some of the chances, but he just offers like a net nothing where it's like for every good thing he'll do like a bad thing. So he just offers in a game like a net nothing because he'll offer you the same amount negatively that he does positively. So it's just like I don't know where to stand with him. And then, like as I said, like I thought the first half and like up until we scored was really good, and then those fucking subs, man. Like, I lost when I saw those subs. I got pissed. Like I was pissed. Just the mentality you're showing. Like as I said, this was a Leeds team that offered nothing. Like Aronson looked about as good as he's looked so far recently. Somerville had some nice dribbles, wasn't really creating anything. Same with Harrison, didn't do anything. Ruter didn't get the ball at all. And then as soon as you went to as soon as you went to that box midfield and you put Gallagher in there and you put Zakaria at DM and you sat back, they had all of the chances. Like there was a moment we could have conceded a couple times at the end of the game. And if we'd have drawn that game, it would have been on him. Like, it's just a piss ball mentality. It's like, it's depressing to see as well because like these are the type of games when you're playing a team like this who are in such low confidence and are offering nothing. You need to go for the throat. You need 2 or 3 goals. Then you sit back. Then you collect yourself because they're dead. Their spirit is gone.
I think
it's just
right. Yeah, listen. I think we're all glad that we won. It was more of a relief that we won. But it's the way it's like he's taken the shine off the win by his decisions to actually basically from the 65th minute basically say game over. We're not going to try and do anything in this game. That's what he's tried. That's what he's tried to do. He's tried to go no, we're sticking with the 1-0. You know, or we've had enough. We're not going to try anything more. 1-0. We're all good. Shut up shop. We'll just defend from here. And it's like, bro, this isn't a Champions League away tie.
I think if I had to be honest about it too, boys, like go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say the sitting back. The problem that I have with that as well is your decision to make us sit back nearly cost us 3 points or 2 points.
That's what
we nearly conceded a couple times because they created chances because you decided to sit back, and that's on you. If we did, as I said, if we'd have drawn that game, if we hadn't have won that game, everything that would have been on him. Regardless of the misses, regardless of anything else, because we were on top and you decided to let them have the ball and take the pressure away. Like, it's piss poor management. And as well, like, I get it with the subs as well, as I said, but I thought the subs bar Gallagher played well. It's the timing of the subs and it's what you're doing. Like, I get going defensive if you're going to have an outlet. When Gallagher's your number 10, you've got no outlet because he doesn't hold on to the ball. And when Kai's your number 10, also your number 9, and he can't hold up to the ball or hold on to the ball and hold the play up, like there's no outlet. Our only outlet was Madueke when he came on. Like that was our only outlet after the 65th minute. It's just embarrassing. And it's like if we play the same way we did in the last 35 minutes against Dortmund, we're conceding. We're 100% conceding.
I think my issue overall with what Potter did was the timing of it, really. I feel like trying to defend a 1-0 lead, a little bit less than 60 minutes into the game, I think was absolutely setting yourself up for failure. I really think it was really risky. I can understand maybe the argument that, okay, you have a big game coming up against Dortmund. Maybe you want to rest Kovacic. Maybe you want to rest Enzo a little bit. But regardless, though, very, very risky trying to do that at the 60th minute. I think try to get another goal, and then maybe around the 75th minute, 80th minute, you could try to defend the 1-0 lead. Why not? But yeah, go ahead.
You know, because you guys mentioned it, I didn't want to say it. Like you say, oh, Kai Havertz plays strike, so you know that's not his main position. But we don't give that yeah, but we don't say the same for Mason Mount, who plays as an attacker, right? Who's an 8, yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but this is where Kai Havertz, like people defending him is like bullshit to me because he's been playing strike for that long, like, and that's why to me it's bullshit. And then you got Timo Werner, who was at Chelsea playing left wing. He got hate for like doing what he did because he was basically playing shit, right? So like this, like defending like Kai Havertz, he plays strike. You know, he's not playing his best position. He's still a shit player. He isn't that good of a player. Like, he doesn't really do
okay.
Okay.
All
right. Like he doesn't offer anything in strike, so he's a good player.
Okay.
So
All
what
right,
does he offer?
Marshall, I have 5 minutes. If you mind.
The Carlito 5-minute roundup. Let's go.
Okay. So number one, I know we didn't play well today. No one's saying we played a world-class, game. Nevertheless, we had to win. Okay, we had to win. Will everybody here at least admit that?
No.
Okay. Everyone here will admit we had to win, minus Chris.
Oh yeah,
unless he gets
because Chris wanted Potter to lose because that's a weird thing to say.
No.
Nevertheless, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Here's the deal. You have to look at this from a full perspective. All right, Wesley Fofana had a great game. This team was playing against Leeds. Leeds just lost their manager, right? And them pulling the double on us was a huge problem. Right? So it wasn't just about pride. It was also about Wesley Fofana playing a good game. So, Marshall, let me ask you this first question.
Over it.
Would you have wanted us to lose if it meant Potter would be fired?
No. I don't want us to lose. I want us to win. I said it from the beginning. I think we can still win and get out of relegation this season, which is, I think, the goal, and still analyze Potter in the summer and say, hey, we can get another manager that probably suits this team better. We made a mistake with Potter. Vivel is the one that runs the show in that too. So I trust Vivel.
How do you feel about those that thought that we should lose so Potter should be fired?
I think they're idiots. I'm sorry. Anyone who thinks that we should have lost today, you shouldn't want your team to lose. Chris, I'm sorry. Like, I just think it's such a... I honestly think
Chris,
it is a stupid
you're the one
take.
that said it, Chris. You're the one that said it.
Yeah, I want him gone.
I honestly think
Champions
anyone
League.
who is on Twitter
He's
saying
like
that we should lose today and cheering on a Chelsea loss, claiming to be a Chelsea fan, I think you're retarded. Okay, that's just how I'm gonna say it, plain and simply. I think it's so stupid. You can still, like we said, you can still get. I think because you can still get a win. Our season isn't finished. We could get relegated. That's
We're
the
not
thing.
finished.
No, yeah, we sack Potter and then we get a better manager and we're out of relegation.
You're right.
You
You're
don't
right,
know who
Chris.
that manager
But guess
is.
what? You're just a fan that complains to complain. This is
No,
what
no.
and every other.
I barely complain about Chelsea.
Well, guess what? You've
No,
become the norm,
Marshall.
dude. You have become a cliche. Seriously.
All right.
Because I've seen you on Twitter, Chris.
Okay.
We all love Twitter.
I've seen you on Twitter.
Yes,
I've seen exactly what you said. What you've done is become a cliche.
I just don't want him. I don't want him managing this club no more before the champion. We have a Champions League game. Why do I want Potter? Yeah, after especially today, yeah, when we was 1-0 up, yeah, dominating, yeah, and he goes defensively like that.
Do you seriously think I'm exonerating? Do you seriously think that I'm exonerating what Potter did after the 65th minute? No, I am not. No, I am not. Okay, what he did was have 6 midfielders on. That's a terrible decision. I am not exonerating him for that, dude. I really am not. I promise you, I am not.
So the thing is, listen, and this is why I'm saying, Chris, we can still win, play like shit, and he can get sacked. I know it's hard to believe that if he wins, he's going to get more time and he's going to get next season and all that stuff. You got to remember, there's a lot of hands.
I can hold that. If he gets sacked after this win, I can hold it.
Sure. There's a lot of factors that go into. There's a lot of hands in this kitchen. It's not just Bowley. It's not just Iqbali. And even Bowley and Iqbali are butting heads about whether or not Potter should be given more time.
No shit. No shit.
So, and the biggest, I think the biggest finger on the scale is Vivell. I trust Vivell. I've seen what Vivell's doing with the team. I see how he's making this team and what team he's kind of creating. And I trust it. We talked about this yesterday with Scott. I trust it. I genuinely trust Vivell and what he's doing for the team and his vision.
Marshall, why do you trust the way that I trust? Why?
What do you mean?
No, why do you feel that type of trust the way that I do? Because I know
For Vivell
that they are
and the board?
doing. Yes, absolutely. Why do you feel?
Because you can see there's a vision. I know
No
everyone
shit,
wants to
dude.
say
That's
here.
what I'm saying, Marshall. That's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
everyone likes to come in on Twitter and say oh, these managers don't know what the owners don't know what they're doing and yada
do.
yada. Look, they personally may not be the ones that know what they're doing, but they hired people that do. So why are we talking about the owners? The owners aren't really the one. They get the decision on whether or not Potter gets sacked. Fine. But they're talking to their organization. They're talking to Paul Winstanley. They're talking to Vivell. They're talking to Shields.
Thank you.
There's a lot of heads in the kitchen. So it's not just on them. They're gonna be smart about it. There's money involved in it as well. And they're gonna try to avoid making the mistake again. And everyone here, I think, will admit it probably was a dumb idea sacking Tuchel when they did and getting Potter without having anyone to actually give him an opinion or an organization to have hey, what do you think we should do? Who's the right person? Who's the right manager for this project that we're trying to do? They kind of just went on a whim. We're excited about Potter's oh, look what he's doing with Brighton and hired him. It looked like that. And it probably that was the way it went. And it was dumb. I'll admit that from the owners.
Are you sure that that's exactly how it went down?
I don't know, but it just seems like that from the outside looking in.
That's pretty flippant, man. I mean, come on.
It just seems like that from the outside looking in.
No, I know, but
That's
that's other people saying that. I can't imagine that you actually believe that.
I don't know. That's just what I think. Possibly is.
You know what I think. You know what I think.
Go
I
for
think
it.
that we have signed a lot of different players, and we have a new manager, and the manager is very concerned about losing his job. The owner, Bowley, the people are saying sack Bowley. By the way, good luck with that. He's, a minority owner. Good luck with that. The manager is concerned about losing his job. That did not affect anything about today.
Mm-hmm.
Other than in the second half when he put on 6 midfielders. I can't abide that particular thing. I loved the start of the game, and I particularly loved Wesley Fofana throughout the game. I definitely loved that. But what I didn't understand was the 6 midfielders that were playing with Kai Havertz up top. That was weird to me. That's something that I wouldn't have done as a coach. It's something that I know how to do, and I wouldn't have done that. Okay? That, for Potter, I will definitely criticize Marshall. I will definitely criticize. But Madueke, when he came on, clearly class. Okay? I was waiting for Mudryk to also come on. Weird. Carney Chukwuemeka, weird that he wasn't coming on, he came on late. Nevertheless, we won. And in part, we won because of Wesley Fofana's leadership. And I have to emphasize that because of how much he cared. Everybody gives him shit for his TikToks and his, social media bullshit, and that he smiles and all that stuff. Yeah, guess what? He's also one of the most serious players on this team. Wesley Fofana is absolutely phenomenal. And I just feel as though we need to embrace this win and accept it for what it is and move on to Tuesday. It's just how I feel, man, because we had to win this game, Marshall. We had to win this game. And
we had to.
I don't know what else to say, dude.
I think another thing I would like to add, and let's discuss this, I guess. How much of a difference do you think was the formation change? Do you think that had a huge influence? Because I think last match we were saying, what if we changed to 3 in the back? Because I think that
it was Reece James intensive for a little bit there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Reece James being missing.
This team actually suits a back 3 a lot more in a back 4. We definitely tried it. In a back 3, we have what's the name? Silva normally, who's really good at back 3. We have Fofana, what can do back 3. Koulibaly, I feel like he can do a good job at back 3 as well. And what's his other name? Badiashile,
but really good player, by the way.
Yeah, he was very good in that back three as well today.
Phenomenal game today.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And he's got a good pass on him as well. And when you play a back three and you got centre backs who's got a good pass, it works really good. So we can definitely.
But I have to ask you this question: is the end game really just not Ben Chilwell and Reece James on either side of two center backs? Seriously.
Yeah, we're probably gonna play that on Tuesday because Badiashile is not.
I mean, really, like that's really the end game, right? Is that not like the actual formation that we want? I mean, talk to me, man.
I've always assumed it would be either 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 that we play at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. So
I just think, like, we look back at the games that we won earlier in the season, minus what was it, the Bournemouth game. We were winning those games with 3 at the back. I think it's just a formation that suits it suits our defenders. And I think it suits the style of play and getting the best out of Chilwell and James, getting them to be outputting defensive backs. And even today, you could see to a certain extent, I think we even saw better improvements from Kovacic and Enzo in that midfield.
back three, I don't think is long term, and just because you look better and it's unlocking Reece James and Ben Chilwell doesn't necessarily mean that it's because of the back three. When we were playing back four, maybe Potter was like told Reece James to stay back, told Chilwell to not be as attacking. That could also be a reason as to why they were holding back. Well, at least in the Tottenham game, at least if we look back at that was the most recent game. So.
Can I at least ask you this question? Is there a reason why Kovacic looked really good today? Is because him and Enzo have a type of movement chemistry, not just on the ball but off the ball?
I actually think they actually have a good partnership too. Like you, I think people jumped the gun too soon. Like in the first game, I thought they both played well, just didn't have that chemistry straight away, like playing together. But like today, it definitely showed today. Like the movement on the ball, they maybe are similar, but that can still be a good thing. Like they both can do up and down like really well. Like,
but Chris, what I'm asking you is more along the lines of when Chelsea fans watch one game with one player. Right, they're looking at a player, they're focusing on a player, and then that player has a bad game, or at least not a game that's up to snuff. They all of a sudden say that this player is shit, or they see two players playing together, and it's a one-game sample size, and they have a bad game together. And Chelsea fans say that these two guys can't play together, or this combination is shit. Mm-hmm. I have to push back on that because it's simply inarticulate, and it's just not something that I would ever consider. It's stupid, dude. How could you possibly give a small sample size and say that these two players cannot play together after one game?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to give a larger sample size and say, I need to see these guys play together for a couple of games, see what happens. But look, I'm just not interested in a small sample size because when you do that, it's just it's antithetical to the smart analysis that we really want to try and
do. I think today, and I go back to what I was saying, that midfield pivot of Enzo and Kova, defensively, it's probably not the best. Right, I would still rather have a proper DM, but regardless, I think if we're gonna do that pivot, which again, those two midfielders in that pivot are really good midfielders. I'm not having this Kovacic.
They're really good players.
I'm not gonna have this slander that Kovacic is washed. Like he's a good player. Maybe there's just some inner turmoil happening in the club between the contract negotiations and all that. Fine. Regardless, he had a decent game today. Enzo, we already know this guy is the real deal.
Oh, yeah.
But with the back three, I think we can get away with having that pivot. When we saw them with the back four, it looked shaky. We looked like there were holes in that midfield. The midfield was actually almost absent. when we were doing a back four and having them in the midfield pivot. So I think, again, Potter's in a position right now where he has to find solutions, right? And if we're not going to get rid of Potter this season, as fans, we have to just whatever works and gets us wins and gets us starting to maybe get into some momentum going into towards the end of the season, maybe getting further into the Champions League. Look, I'm going to take it. Is Potter going to change my mind? I don't know. I'm not closed-minded to the idea that maybe Potter could work out. I still don't want him to stay at the club. I still rather another manager. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to see the bigger picture at the end of the season for that analysis. So I like that he made the change today for 3 at the back. I think the formation change was needed. It did work out for him. It was risky, the substitutions. I agree with you guys. Those substitutions were fucking horrible. And it was risky.
Horrible.
But at the end of the day, we did get a win. And we got Scott, you got a goal. You wanted a goal.
Yeah,
and you got a win on top of that. Cherry on top.
Scott, I got
Go ahead.
Right, man. Have a nice one.
I just want to say one thing. Wesley Fofana, I believe in him as not just a player but a leader. A lot of people wrote him off, and it's kind of ridiculous that he hasn't been able to truly show what he wants to do at Chelsea. You can tell, like, the guy smiles, the guy laughs. He's very amiable, right? Like, he's a nice guy, but that does not take away from how serious he is as a player. You can tell this guy is so serious about his craft. He fucking gives a shit, dude. He cares so much. And don't let him fool you, man. He wants to be captain eventually. So I want to say that I'm extremely proud of Wesley Fofana for showing up in a way that I always knew that he would be. But this is the type of thing that crafts a type of legend. So that, for me, I'm just going to say Wesley Fofana, player of the game. Really proud of him, man. So I'm going to go, but have a good day, guys.
Appreciate you coming by, Carlito.
See ya.
Scott, did you want to say something?
I just on the like Kovacic and Enzo, I think they were better today. But my preferred pivot going forward is still Enzo and Zakaria. I just think the balance is better. I think Zakaria offers a lot more defensively than Kova, which complements Enzo's deficiencies defensively. On the back three, I thought they were all excellent today. Like especially the outside centre backs like Fofana and Badiashile were incredible. Really limited what they called Leeds wanted to do, especially like with the guys they had, like Somerville especially is a very like he's a guy who likes to beat players 1v1. He has like got a low center of gravity. We've already seen what he's done to the likes of Trent and others like this season so far, and I thought that they did really well handling him. The fact that he had to swap sides about halfway through the first half, because I think it was halfway through the first half or in the second half he had to swap sides because he couldn't handle like Badiashile. I thought was good to see. I don't know. I find it difficult to get hyped after this game because I got hyped. Yeah. Not hyped. I felt positive after the West Ham and Dortmund games, and then we had the Southampton game. So I just, exactly. I find it so difficult to get like to take anything like more than just the result and the game at face value, because it's like we could go and play against Dortmund and get battered 3-0 and look like just the worst team in England. Like we could look like what we saw against Southampton again. Like. So I just don't know, and at the minute I just can't get hyped. I just can't get hyped in the moment with this team. Until I see an extended period of time where we look like we're improving, then I'll get hyped. But I already did it once. I'm not doing it again.
One thing I will say quickly before you go, Marshall, is that we can't be making those type of changes that he made today against Dortmund on Tuesday.
The substitutions, you mean?
Yeah, those changes that he made.
Yeah.
The substitutions. That they will kill him on Tuesday, man.
I don't think he's got the option.
Those substitutions are only acceptable on Tuesday if we're 2-0 up and it's the 75th minute or above. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only way. That's the only way I would accept that. Yeah, that's the only way, because people going, we've got to score 2 to win. Not really. We've got to score 1 and then go through in penalties. That's all we have to do.
Sure.
That will be a Chelsea typical.
I mean, you're asking Chelsea to score and go here, Marshall. Sorry,
well, you know,
hard task yourself.
I don't listen. I don't. Again, though, changes again. changes again. It's not a set number of players. Do you know what I mean? It's not 6 players that keep playing all the time to build this base or a spine or something like that. Again, more changes. I would like to see. He won't do this because he's got a Kai Havertz fetish. Another fucking 90 minutes with this guy again. He does absolutely nothing but want to make you rip your remaining hair out, whatever it is, or rip your eyes out, or whatever it is. But you know, I don't know. I would like to see maybe. I would like to see maybe on Tuesday, like him drop Havertz. He won't do this. Still play 3 at the back, like say Scott said. Put Zakaria in there instead of Kovacic with Enzo. And then play anyway, Sterling, Felix, and someone else up front. Like have
Mudryk or Madueke.
No, Madueke can't play, so it's been Mudryk.
Mark can't play. He's in an
What about Mudryk?
So I would like to see like Felix drop and then have Felix in the 10, and then have Mudryk and Sterling a bit further up. That's what I would like to see.
The most important question I wanted to ask you guys is, look, we played 3 at the back with Badiashile today. He doesn't have that option on Tuesday. So who does he go with?
Right, yeah, forgot about that. Yeah.
If you want to play 3 at the back, you go Chalobah in the middle, Koulibaly on the left, and you go for FOFANA on the right. But I would not play 3 at the back. The problem with the 3 at the back is like it probably does work with what our team is. It's not. It's just, we already saw under Tuchel. Most of the Chelsea fan base don't want us playing 3 at the back.
Yeah,
and I do kind of also get the idea of like, fuck what the Chelsea fan base think. But at the end of the day, like, you can't really say that about basically most of the fan base.
Do you play 3 at the back though without like, you're right, Badiashile cup tied and Thiago Silva injured doesn't leave us with a centre back substitute on the bench.
Right? I would say we literally haven't got a centre back because the only centre backs the only guys that would have played centre back for us this season in terms of or recently, Humphreys was loaned out. As P we're still not sure about, and I don't want him playing.
It's going to be cleared.
Yeah. And then there's no one else unless they're going to bring like some other youth player from like to be a backup centre back.
I don't know.
Or you play Cucurella at centre back and try that experiment again.
Oh no!
He's not been the match squad for a long time.
I'd play Cucurella or Chua at right back. That's what I would do. I play
Cucurella right back.
I think
I play Cucurella or Chua at right back, and I throw at the back. That's what I play.
Like I hate it,
no, I think
and I hate it, but it's better than nothing. I don't understand.
Is Reece not going to be back for that game, guys?
If he's got a hamstring, if he was doubtful for a hamstring today, we're talking only 3 days time. I don't think he'll be ready.
He won't be back for Tuesday.
What
about Fofana right back or Chalobah right back?
No, I was going to say like I hate it, and I despise seeing it because I don't think it works long term. But if there's no other option, why not play Chalobah at right back? Like the 2 games he played there, he had 1 bad game and 1 really good game. So like, why not like?
Well, you do this. You play him at right back, and you go literally. You don't cross the halfway line. Chilwell's the attacking.
The thing, I would say, Andrew, you go 4 at the back in principle, but you go like a 3 at the back in possession where you get Chilwell to push it high, and it moves into a 3 at the back.
Yeah.
That could work, but
I would. But yeah, it's a thing as well. He won't do it, but I would literally play a 4-3-3. I'll have Kovacic if he's fit, Zakaria and Enzo in middle, and I'll have Felix dropping in, and I would literally have Sterling and Mudryk up just a bit ahead of him like that, and just have Chilwell as an outlet as well. Leave Chalobah, Fofana, and Koulibaly as a 3 when in possession or out of possession, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And just say Chalobah, you do not need to go and attack. Apart from corners, you do not need to go and attack.
Royce got injured, They literally without Ademi and Royce in this game. So it's
right, but the thing is though, I'm even after this win, you can't say as a Chelsea fan you have any confidence in this team whatsoever.
No, I'm talking about from my second point.
There's no confidence because of the manager. Yeah, there's just no confidence whatsoever, right? So I would do that. He's not going to do that. We all know he's going to play Kai Havertz up front. He's got a weird fetish for Kai Havertz. Another 90 minutes today. Absolute crap from him. Just let you know, he has no self-awareness at all because he could have passed it to he never even looked left for Felix after that. And that would have been a tap-in. for Felix that, and he didn't even do it. But yeah,
Okay.
or could he do this?
Just finish it.
Could he do a? I don't really know what I'm going to say. He's not going to play Aubameyang. That's just a PR stunt to appease the fans. Aubameyang anywhere near the squad whatsoever. Again, today, if you're going to play that type of football, you hoof it up and you have Aubameyang on, or FOFANA. If you're going to do that, do you know what I mean? That type of football. The decisions are so strange that although we played well in the first half and a bit of the second, we scored. From the 65th minute on, it takes the shine off the win and the performance. You know what I mean? It's like that's the only thing you remember, because for the last 30 minutes or so, including injury time, you sit there going, what am I watching? Why am I watching Gallagher, the furthest player up the field? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't help yourself, because he could have really, you know what? We could be coming and going, you know, it's 1-0. We played very well, you know. Played very well for 18 minutes or so. Made a few changes. Obviously, looking at Tuesday, swapped it all around. Understandable. Maybe we could have scored 1 or 2 more, but that's Chelsea's problem, not really scoring a lot. But you know what? It was an improved performance. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm still not Potter out or anything, but you know, he did well. But it's just again, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, even after a win. You just go, why? And there's 60 of you here, so I need to see at least 45
Thank
likes.
you. I was just about to say.
You know
It's
what
like
I mean?
telepathically, I tell Andrew,
exactly,
pitch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, smash those like buttons. It does help us. We're 3 away from 30, so get us to 30 at least. I was going to ask you guys, what were your thoughts overall on Sterling's performance today?
Best attacker on the pitch.
I actually thought that
You think so?
when
Yeah, 100% best attacker on the
the
pitch.
3 was there, yeah.
Probably could have done a bit better. Oh, there was a chance that I didn't blame him for, where it was in the first half where was it Felix, I think, got the ball.
He could have passed it to him, yeah.
Yeah, he overhit it to him, and Sterling had to go a bit wide. But I thought he was our best attacker, and like we're seeing sort of a bit like more now of what he can bring, and in terms of what we saw at the start of the season, like about the goals. But yeah, I like Sterling, and I think like the people like writing him off, I think is wrong. But yeah, like he's definitely got a place going forward. Like with what Andrew was saying, like if it seems as though he's not really actually no, Madueke can't play, can he, on Tuesday?
No, he can't. No.
That's not. I was going to say on Tuesday I'd have him and Madueke starting, but Madueke can't fucking start. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say it's going to be Ziyech
But
starting.
you know, Havertz. That means Havertz is definitely starting. No matter
Oh,
what.
if we have to, bro, I can guarantee I can.
Havertz
predict
has to
this.
start. He's the only one.
He has to start
It
because
sucks.
we've got the options off the
We don't have any
bench.
other striker.
Yeah,
It would have to be-
We did have
you
a
could
bad
put-
one.
The only other quote unquote striker we've got is Felix, and I don't want him.
Yeah,
to play
exactly.
this.
Yeah,
but
no, me either.
Also, it means we have no one off the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, no,
that's
we
to
don't.
change the game. So it's like,
Oh.
and that's the thing. I would love to see Sterling and Felix with an actual striker,
Mm.
with Aubameyang or FOFANA, whatever you want to do. If Fofana's too raw, bro, how is he going to learn unless you throw him in? Do you know what I mean? Youngsters
Yeah.
are raw.
Oh, Fofana can't play as well. He's
No, I'm just saying generally.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
hypothetically, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
In an ideal
Fofana in.
world,
Both
yeah.
Fofana in. Youngsters are raw, right? Youngsters are raw. Well, okay.
Can it honestly?
Just literally say Fofana. Do you know what? I'm not interested in your turns and stuff like through passes. Literally go up there and be a battering ram, yeah. And the others will
Yeah.
feed off you. You are there literally to hold up the ball, lay it off or whatever, or just be a goddamn nuisance that you create space and you occupy 2 defenders. Like, I'm not saying he's like this, but like a Costa or a Drogba, where you just go, they occupy 2 defenders because they were so nuisance that you leave space like that.
Yeah.
Just do that. Whether it's like Havertz, I mean, oh my god, he actually he pushed the ball in the second half, tried to push the ball past them and tried to outpace them. It was, oh my god.
I don't know what happened to his pace,
you know,
man.
Another problem I'm having with Havertz is because he does do some good things. Like he's showing he's fairly creative at the moment, right? The problem I have with him is and like it's kind of ironic that I'm finding this way, but he's reminding me of Mount, like how Mount's been in terms of like he probably could work as the 10, but like I don't want to see him as the 10 because I don't think he's better than other players that are there.
I
Like
don't think he's
Mount,
better
you
than
could probably
Felix.
argue Like, this is the same argument people have with Mount. Like, oh, he's an 8. Like, yeah, that's fair enough, but he's not getting in over our current 8s, or he shouldn't do. So it's like, I could almost hear the argument for Kai playing as a 10, but like, if you ask me, who am I taking as a 10, Kai or Felix? Felix. Who am I taking as the 10?
Too.
Yeah, who am I taking as the 10? Kai when he's Kai, or Pulisic when he's back fit? Pulisic. Like, I can't hear, like, I don't. Also, then we've got the other problem of, like, if Kai plays as the 10, who plays as the striker?
Right. The problem I have, and I know Carlito's in the chat still going, oh, we can't buy another striker. But you have done this yourself, Potter, and the board, whether it's a joint thing or something,
True.
of leaving Aubameyang out, yeah? You left Aubameyang out. You knew FOFANA couldn't play because he wouldn't be picked as one of the people to play. You left Aubameyang out for no reason whatsoever. You didn't have to take him out of the squad to replace him with anyone. You took him out. So you leave yourself with this option where we're having to play Havertz, or you're having to offer nothing, or we're having to critique and review him every game because he plays fucking every 90 minutes as well. It's not as if he gets any rest either. So, mate, this is on Potter. This is on Potter when it comes to Havertz. I'm now expecting Havertz to do something in Dortmund. Why? Because he's played 90 minutes now. He's played 90 minutes last week. He plays 90 plus minutes all the time. And then I expect him to do something else.
I'm very surprised that Havertz has not got injured yet.
Andrew, can I say something, Andrew?
Yeah.
Very surprising, Scott.
As Andrew, you and I are friends, okay? So don't take this as some sort of harsh criticism, but you are criticizing without offering an articulate solution. Okay? You are complaining about Havertz, and you have done so for the past, 18 months, and you're not offering a solution. What I'm saying is that Christopher Nkunku is coming in, okay, and maybe some other players are coming in as well, and you're just complaining for the sake of complaining, and I feel as though it's not really helping because we still have a Champions League thing that we could possibly compete for, because as bad as we have been, there's still a really good team on paper that we have, and if we want to actually give a shit and try and figure this out, this is a really good team moving forward against Real Madrid, against Bayern Munich. We can compete with these guys.
Now, Carlito, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were away from the stream when I just said this about 7 or 8 minutes ago.
Okay,
and
fair
on
enough.
Tuesday, I would bench Havertz and I would play Felix as a 10 and move Sterling and Mudryk further up a bit.
Okay, I didn't hear that. So that's
what I mean. So that's why I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I gave you the benefit of the doubt because I knew you are like you say, you're always actively listening. So I knew you wouldn't say anything unless you didn't hear it. Okay, that's what I would offer. I'm not, and this is when I'm critiquing Havertz now. It's not really critiquing Havertz. It's more critiquing Potter. He plays this guy 90 minutes every game, nearly.
He does, which I disagree with, by the way.
I know, exactly, and that's what I mean. So it's like he played another 90 minutes today, right? When you could have when the style of football probably suited Oba more or FOFANA more, because you could have just literally just hoof it, right? Something like that, and they run on. This guy is not suited to that style of football. We played 90 minutes last week as well, if you remember. That's what I mean. So you're literally running this guy into the ground.
I remember every game.
Man. No, but you're literally running this guy into the ground when you've got a Champions League game coming up as well.
I know, but guess what? We don't have that Datro option or that Aubameyang option.
No, but we did today, didn't we? We did today.
Yeah, we did today.
Yeah, but we won today, so let's talk about it.
No, but what I'm saying is,
okay,
that type of football today is a detriment to FOFANA, to Havertz, in the way that you're asking to play 90 minutes with that type of football for the last half an hour.
I thought he played well today, so I disagree.
I thought he played okay. I thought he could do better as per usual. It's the usual
my biggest worry.
So it's that for me.
My biggest worry about all this is, as I mentioned earlier, like, I am very surprised with the amount that he's been playing, and like Havertz hasn't got injured yet. And my worry is when he gets injured, because I feel like it's a when at this point rather than an if, with the amount of minutes he is playing on a consistent basis. What is your?
So you're saying the same thing that? Okay, so when Salah played for 3 years straight, playing every single game, it was the same thing. Why do you feel as though Havertz is different than Salah? I mean, so you're just saying just because the modern player has more impetus to be injured, that Havertz is going to get injured, I don't agree with that at all. Scott, I don't agree with your premise at all.
But the more time the longer you play somewhat quick succession, the more likely you are to get injured.
Says who, dude?
I mean, that's a general trend. It's a
No.
general trend.
I think it's
that is not accurate at all.
I just think it's the likelihood. You would think
Likelihood
so.
of what? Just because Harry Kane plays all the time. Mo Salah.
Yeah, but
for the
he
last
gets
2
injured at
years-
least once a season.
I'll say Harry Kane also consistently got injured at the start of the season for like 2 or 3
Mo
seasons.
Salah and Sadio Mane up until recently played all the time.
And Sadio Mane is now getting injuries on a fairly
You're right,
regular
because
basis.
he's 31. So there's what I'm talking about, Scott, and what I referenced was prior to this season. Please listen. I am talking about prior to this season. Those guys, Liverpool, they started that front three all the time for 3 years in a row. So you guys saying that these modern players get more injured all the time is simply a misnomer. It's not accurate.
I mean, the other
It's
thing
not
too is
accurate.
like, it's just when you look at the chances, like the more you play, the more likely there is to be a bad tackle that doesn't go your way. There's just a chance that you're always going to get injured, no matter what. And there's a chance you're going to get injured if you play a game. I'm not saying like walk on eggshells with Kai Havertz.
No,
but there are players that you can
look at guys like Raheem, like Mahrez. Look at guys like Riyad Mahrez.
What about him?
He's never injured.
He doesn't play every game.
He has played more this season than he's ever.
No, but he doesn't normally play every game. Like he isn't.
He has consistently been a great performer.
But he's also been benched this season.
Oh my god! It doesn't mean that he doesn't come off the bench and still play every game.
Here's the thing,
But
and just
No, what I'm saying is that you
So,
guys
yeah,
are
is,
making excuses
Carlito, is that-
for injuries. No, there
Let
is
me-
no excuse. These guys
but
are footballers.
No. Listen, I'm not trying to say they're not footballers or not, but what I will say is that when you're playing more than 100 to 200 plus games and it's virtually non-stop.
Whoa!
weekly,
100, Ahmed, 100.
100 appearances, yeah. What? Right? I'm pretty sure Havertz right now has played over 100.
No.
appearances for
So
Chelsea.
these
Maybe
guys
more than
at the
150.
most, these guys play 65 games a season.
No,
at
but
the
I'm
most.
saying how many appearances has Havertz had overall at Chelsea Football Club, barring any time that he's missed due to injury? It's more than 150. He's got a lot of mileage under his belt. The more mileage you get, the more likely you are to get injured. I don't understand.
Can
I
I
don't
just
understand
add
what-
something too, as well, to this thing, that just to also kind of veer the topic in a different direction? I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but when Kai Havertz comes off the bench, he actually has put on some of his better performances coming off the bench. So my point in saying is that maybe he doesn't have to start every game, and I don't think he should, but maybe every now and again, treating a player or playing a player differently, maybe bringing him off the bench from time to time, starting him from here and there, maybe will merit better results. He doesn't have to be starting every time to get good results. Sometimes you can get better results from a player by resting him one game, playing him the next one, subbing him in for a few minutes here, and then seeing how he does in the next one.
Marshall,
I just think there's a better way to manage Havertz.
Marshall, can I at least say Jimmy Spliff? Someone that was critical of me the other day, but some I agree with right now. He says Mahrez plays every game. By the
He's
way,
been on the bench 7
Jimmy
games.
Spliff is right. Mahrez plays almost every game. So
That's
don't talk to me about rest. Don't talk to me about, load management. Dude, that's
I
ridiculous.
know, but Carlito, what
been
I'm
on the
saying is
bench
that even you
this
can
season,
admit
7 games,
that
by the
some
way.
players. Wait, hold on, don't interrupt me. Hold on, just let me land. You could, Carlito, even you could admit that even every player needs to be managed differently. Not every single player can play every single game, and not every single player benefits from playing every single game. Some players benefit from having a day of rest and then coming back the next game. Some players benefit just from coming off the bench. We see Pulisic. Pulisic's best games have been from coming off the bench. What happens if he plays 2 game straights? He gets injured. We've seen it. As a starter, rather.
I would be curious if you were to ask the player if he was cool with, coming off the bench. instead of
No
starting.
player's ever going to admit that they don't want to
You're
start.
right,
though.
but
Every player wants to start.
Then you should not be making excuses for them if they are not going to make excuses for themselves. Seriously.
The thing is,
No,
I'm
Marshall,
not saying that
don't
Havertz.
make
I think you're
excuses for
interpreting.
them if they're gonna make
I'm not
excuses
making
for
excuses
themselves.
for Havertz. I'm just saying that he's not being managed well. I don't
Okay,
think he
no,
should be starting every game. I think
Dude.
he should be. I think we should try Fofana. I think we should try Alba.
Look, Marshall, do you and I agree that we should get a striker in here? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We're not, that's not a debate. Okay, that's not a debate. But we have to manage this Champions League run that I still believe that we can do. I do believe that we can still do this.
Wow.
I don't think anyone.
I
Listen,
just-
by the way, when I bought this Havertz thing, it wasn't due to injuries. It was due to the fact that he didn't need to play 90 minutes today because we got a game on
Andrew
Tuesday.
just doesn't like him.
Oh no! Listen, I don't like him because he's not good enough for my club. He's just not. But the thing is, when you leave yourself as the only false nine in the Champions League squad, and you're playing him again another 90 minutes 3 days before, when you know he's going to probably play most of the game on Tuesday, I just need him a little bit fresher. That's all. This isn't down to injuries. I just thought it's best that, you know, and given that the game we were playing for 65th minute onwards doesn't suit him whatsoever, you would have gone with another striker, Uber Alfafana for this game, because then you would go, do you know what? I'm going to need you Tuesday because you're literally my only option up there, and I'm going to need
Andrew,
you
did
for
you
possibly
really just say that
it's supposed to be
you
120
need him?
minutes.
Did you literally just say that you need him on Tuesday?
You do, yeah.
No,
The
you
only striker.
said that we need him on Tuesday.
What else? But the thing is, it comes to this. It comes to the squad and who's available, right? I know Havertz is going to play because if he goes to the same front, I think he might go with the same front three he went for today because he'll want to leave. Because he'll want to leave himself an option of like Mudryk on the bench to come off because we don't without Mudryk, Madueke can't play, so we haven't got really any attacking subs, right, to bring on. Leave yourself an option there, but you might need him. You're going to need him to do something for possibly 120 minutes on Tuesday. Because let's face it, we're not a free scoring side. We may score one, and we might need to take the extra time with penalties, and that could happen, right? But what I'm saying is, have him a bit fresher. You didn't need to play him for the full 90 again, which we all agree. Which we all agree on this panel. He didn't need to play him for the full 90 again. But just be smarter. Just be smarter. Look at what's coming up the next game. Then you're play him again.
By the way, God of Frogs, Mount's not playing Tuesday. He's suspended.
Yeah, he came on and got a yellow card.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Anyway, yeah.
Did us all a favor, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't.
Marshall, say it again.
I don't think Potter actually rates
rewind
me
the stream if you want to hear it
either.
again.
No, so Andrew, you got to give me a solution though, because look, I understand everybody's frustration with the last, 3 months. We've sucked. Marshall, Ahmed, okay, Andrew, Scott, real Chris, and even fake Chris. We've sucked. No one here is saying that we have been good. Like, your frustration is not unique. It is ubiquitous. I promise. But I am trying to reconcile with the fact that I love the way that Wesley Fofana played today, and we still have him for UCL. Okay, great. But I'm just looking for leadership. I'm looking for a way to devise a plan that can play even better than the way we played against Dortmund the first time, the second time, because the first time we played against Dortmund, we were clearly the better team outside of one weird scenario where we had a slow player in the back on a corner kick. Okay, great. How do we play even better against Dortmund the second time around and win this game and score 2 goals? Because we have to score 2. Marshall, I'm going to ask you this first question. How do we do this?
I think we don't have a choice. I think, I mean, as much as we could try.
How do we do this?
For Champions League, right?
Yes. How do we do it? What's your answer?
Well, as much as Andrew maybe wants to try Zhao as a striker, kind of, sort of, or like a false 9 kind of thing,
No,
I think we're just
asking
gonna.
you.
I'm giving you the
first.
solution. Let me land. I think the only way we can do this is if we persist with Havertz. We have to. There's no other option. For me, there's no other option. I think we just have to persist with Havertz and hope for the best. Because look, I understand. I love Havertz and I defend him a little more than most people.
Me too.
Andrew doesn't like Havertz. We call them all types of names. But at the end of the day, I have to be
justified. On 3 years.
Oh no,
yes, yeah.
Marshall,
I get it. Look, it's all justified.
Marshall, let's be very clear. It's not that Andrew doesn't like Havertz. It's biblical names that are adverse to the Havertz allergy that Andrew has.
Sure. But I think there are things that Havertz does provide into the game that are useful. And I'm starting to see, look, maybe it's the bias, but I think I'm starting to see why Havertz starts more often than not. And I think part of it today, and there was a comment that brought it up, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys, was our pressing. I think today, in that attack, Havertz did a phenomenal job of regaining that ball multiple times and turning the possession around. We didn't do much with it, but Havertz has some good tackling up in the front as well. It's just maybe we need to be better about taking those opportunities. I'm just saying, I'm gonna look up the stat, but I think he had a pretty decent tackling stat. No, I'm not saying that. What? That is such a bad fate.
No. He's useful
my
because he
words and
tackles.
say, I'm not. But there's more to his game than just.
He makes good movement. Yeah, good movement.
Hey, Chris.
He
really?
had decent movement.
Come on, man.
He has decent link-up play. He looks
His
good with
link-up's
Felix.
not too bad sometimes with Felix. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
He looks good with Felix.
Chris, you're
if we could take better advantages of the tackles and how good we pressed in that first half,
I'm getting mad.
You guys admit.
Hey, maybe it's just me. I'm getting mad deja vu. I'm getting mad deja vu.
I feel like we heard this somewhere.
Yes, I feel like we hear this every year.
I can't make the same mistake I did with Timo. Sorry.
Different season.
Look,
man.
I'm just saying this is specifically for Champions League. Obviously, if it was up to the Premier League, I'd be like, no, let's start FOFANA. I want to see FOFANA start over Havertz.
I'm saying.
Yeah. But for the Champions League, I could see why.
In the Premier
I'm just
League,
saying.
In the Premier League, it's not working. Okay, it's not.
Yeah.
Hold on, Andrew.
With better players around him, it's not working.
Andrew, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me any question you want.
By the way, I know that because we're friends. Okay.
You don't have to ask. You have to ask. I know it's polite.
But I'm also trying to be polite. So, the thing about David Datro Fofana is that he also makes aimless runs, and I used to coach. In fact, I used to coach very well, and I did it for 12 years. So it wasn't like a 1 year, 2 off thing. It was something that I was going to actually make my profession for 30 years. So I know what I'm talking about. David Datro Fofana makes aimless runs, and he also dribbles aimlessly. Now, that does not mean that he is not a very skilled player. He's got sticky feet, really fast and quick, and he can beat someone. The problem is that he's young, and I would like to see him more developed on another team and then come back. And then I really want to see what he can do eventually. But for now, what I see from David Datro Fofana is aimless runs. He's not smart enough to play for this team yet, but eventually I think he will be.
Do you know
that is my assessment of him.
Do you know what, though? And I've come to a point where I'd rather have the Fofana in the team because I know he will stay in that central position and not drop deep where he doesn't. No,
but what I'm saying is that that's Fofana, he drifts wide too much. That is my problem.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm fine with Kai dipping in. I am not okay with Datro Fofana drifting so out wide that he is bringing in the center back to the outside position where the wing should be trying to occupy. But, there's Datro and that center back that's following him. So that's betraying the positional awareness.
Listen. I'd rather that.
Please recognize what I said.
I recognize what you said, but I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that than Kai dropping into a Felix area and distracting.
No, but I want Felix to overlap him. under or
But
overlapping.
I don't. But the problem is you've got this. Kai's not good enough to find a through ball. He's not good enough to do
He
that.
literally did it today for Felix. That is completely.
That is
inaccurate.
what you know. What you can literally put a date and a game on the amount of times he has done that for the past 3
He did
years.
it today, Andrew. He did it. Today.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can literally pinpoint games where he's done that, and it's like
I'm not going to fight you on the fact that you don't like Kai Havertz. We're not going to.
I hate. Listen, I'm not using. Listen, he is not that player. Kai Havertz is not good enough for Chelsea. Okay, he is not. You need to give. Listen, but everyone who thinks Kai Havertz is good enough, he is not good enough for this team. Okay, he's a basic player. As a 10, he doesn't create at all. Once in a blue moon does he put through a good enough ball. As a false 9 or as a 9, he can't finish properly. He has no self-awareness whatsoever. We saw it today. He could have cut it across where he had a chance at the goalkeeper.
I really wish he did, by the way. I really wish. It was Chilwell, right? It was Chilwell,
He
right?
didn't even look left, though. He didn't even look left. He didn't even look left to see this. This guy's been given so many chances of protection. If this was Timo Werner, we'd be ripping him more to shreds than we already are. Timo Werner was ripped to shreds for what he's done, and he was a better player than Kai Havertz has ever been for this club.
So, Andrew, do you remember the things that you said about Timo Werner?
Yes.
Because those were damning things that you said about him.
Yes, I know.
And hyperbolic things, and hyperbolic things that you said about him.
He was not good enough. Let me say this: Timo Werner's not good enough to play for this club either.
Okay,
but I tell you what, right
Andrew,
now,
this seems to be like a pattern, man. Come on.
What do you mean?
What pattern?
I just feel like you're frustrated with the forwards, and you just pick
I'm
the next one and you
frustrated.
get
I tell you
pissed
what,
at.
I'm frustrated with crap players. That's what I'm frustrated with. He is.
Yeah,
crap.
I'm sorry that we can't. I'm sorry that we can't invent Harry Kane, who's the best striker in the world. I'm sorry that we can't invent him. My
Okay,
bad.
but we could have easily got rid of these players easily this summer.
That is
easily
not. Oh, that is not easy. Again.
Oh
that
my
is
God!
so
Send
flippant.
them out.
That is flippant,
Send
dude.
them out
That
on
is
loan.
flippant to say that
Send
you
them out
can
on
just
loan.
get rid of these players easily.
Send him out on loan.
Yeah,
Send him
It's
out on
not that
The whole-
easy, dude.
we did Lukaku pretty easy, right?
With-
loan. It is easy. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Havertz,
yeah, it's
the
really,
whole-
really easy that we
100
get rid
million
of
player.
Lukaku.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like
got
the
to
whole
be.
thing with Havertz for me is like I just want to see something different because like it's clearly not working with him up front at the moment. Like it's just not working. So Aubameyang's a non-factor. Aubameyang's a complete non-factor at this club going forward. Like he's getting max about 10 minutes a game, if that. So the only other option there is either Felix, who I don't want to see as the 9. We've already seen it at Atletico.
I know, right?
I've seen it elsewhere. His best position is behind the right. The only other option is Fofana. And what I've seen from Fofana in the game against who was it? Southampton? Whoever it was, I can't remember. He was very good up until he got moved to left wing for no apparent reason. And in that game against Fulham, when he came off the bench, he did more in the few moments that he got to show in that game than Havertz had done up until that point in the game. I just want to see a change because I want to see something different. I want to see
Do you
what it looks
remember-
like when Fofana is given a game or is given 60 minutes to show what he can do. He might be crap.
What is the difference?
But-
What is the difference?
Do you remember last year? Do you remember?
No,
Havertz
no,
being
no,
dropped.
no. Let me ask Scott.
Difference.
What is your
Havertz
solution,
being
Scott,
dropped
really?
is the difference.
No, but
Havertz being dropped.
explain to me the formation. You know, what's the front six?
Literally, you can go the same as what we played today or the same as what we play normally in terms of a 4-2-3-1. Like what we did against Southampton, 4-2-3-1, you take Havertz out and put Fofana in. You go
Okay.
Felix as the 10, and you go Mudryk and Madueke, or Sterling and Madueke, or Sterling and Mudryk, whichever combination.
Scott, that's all I was asking. That's
Who
all
the
I
hell
was
is
asking.
that?
Like, do you remember? Do you know what this feels like? Like, do you remember last year when Tuchel played Lukaku like 10 games in a row,
Yes.
something like that?
Remember the 7-touch game?
Yeah.
And I know he scored a couple. I know
From
he
the end
scored
of
a couple
December
goals,
to the beginning of
By
February.
the way, guess who set him up? Timo Werner.
Right. But what? Listen, and I'm not saying Timo Werner didn't do good things, but
And guess who shit on him? You.
because he would literally. I'll tell you what.
Andrew,
If Kai
I
Havertz hadn't-
remember everything, dude. You forget that
If
I
Kai
remember all
Havertz
of
hadn't
this.
scored that Champions League goal, I'll tell you, Werner would be getting ripped up straight. But you know, and listen, and maybe I was a bit too harsh, and maybe I was like everyone. I was forgetting what Kai was doing
You were not like everyone, Andrew.
because okay,
not like me.
Okay, no, like, but what I'm saying is like I'm just saying it's just when does it? Because how many times are you going to change something or change players or whatever you like? The formation was changed a bit today, and you've still got Kai Havertz in the middle. Just not. I know he put a through ball and stuff like that, and he had that chance which he should have passed. But I'm just saying, it's like in the Champions League, you've really got no other choice.
On that chance, let's watch it
Okay.
because we're an awesome channel. We can actually do these
Any
things.
striker worth. Any striker worth anything.
You're not gonna show us a chance, are you?
Yeah.
Any
please.
Yeah, of course
striker
I
worth
am.
anything. I'm sorry, like if that's the guy playing for Leeds,
Great
that's
save, great
Jorginho.
save from the keeper.
Like I'm not being funny. If that's Jorginho Ruta who was playing for Leeds yesterday or today, I'm expecting that to hit the back of the net. If that's any striker in the Championship, I'm expecting that to hit the back of the net. Like I'm sorry, he's
Ivan Toney could do that for us.
Hey Scott, have you ever played striker?
Yes, I have. I'm expecting that to hit the back of the net.
Would you have scored that?
Yeah,
I
probably.
believe you could.
No, you wouldn't.
Why are we comparing ourselves? Wait, why are we comparing?
You know what I'm doing? Do you know
Comparing
what I'm
ourselves to
getting?
professional players? Come on, let's be realistic here, okay?
You know what I'm getting?
No.
More than anything else.
I'm just saying.
I have this all the time.
Marshall, that scenario is presented to a bunch of strikers, regardless of level. Come on.
Yeah.
He said he
No,
would score
listen,
that. I'm calling bullshit. I'm sorry.
I reckon Scott's
This
prime.
is the
There's
chance.
two
This is the
things-
chance
there's
you're
two
talking
things
about,
with
though,
this.
right,
There's
Andrew?
Two things with this chance is number one, this is not the first time that he has missed this type of chance. He did the same thing against
Sure.
Dortmund. Like, yeah, he got fouled, but it was the same thing where he goes one-on-one with the keeper and the defender manages to come back and he fluffs his chance. He's done it before. He's done it against United last season. Or I don't know if it was last season or the season before. He's done this before multiple times. That chance against Arsenal fluffs his lines. Like, he does this consistently. And the other thing is as well, like, and he keeps doing this, is the one thing that I'm asking my striker to do in that position, get across the defender. Like, don't let the defender come back. If the defender has to get the ball there, he goes through you to get the ball.
Yeah.
It just comes back to like the basics. Like that that's what pisses me off about Havertz as a number 9. He can't do the basics. He can't, like, the hold up play isn't there. The like positioning of his body isn't there. It's just the basics that he seems to fuck up all the time.
Scott,
I just don't think it's there
Scott,
consistently enough.
Scott and Marshall, are you concerned that we will have to pay $120 million to get Victor Osimhen in?
No.
Why not
I
with
don't
Ivan
think
Toney?
so.
We're probably not gonna. I don't think anyone's gonna buy him this season. To be honest, I think
I was going to say
I-
it doesn't require 120 million Victor Osimhen. Like,
yeah.
obviously, it depends
well,
on
you
the player.
you guys are asking for a striker, and this is clearly the guy that we're tipped with, right? No.
That's fair.
I
but
don't
you
We're
know,
looking at Ivan Toney, aren't we?
Ivan
Oh,
Toney
man, that-
just admitted to gambling on games.
Who cares?
He's got at least 6 months.
He's
waiting
got
for the Premier
I've
nothing
had,
to worry about.
I'd rather a guy who's committing crime anyway over Kai Havertz.
I mean,
and striking anyway,
Vlahovic is a
So
good
here's the
Havertz
funny
is
thing is that
committing
we are actually
He is,
actually
on the
linked
pitch.
with we are actually linked with Vlahovic from Juventus.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
Have
one.
you guys actually watched him play?
No, Vlahovic is great. I want Vlahovic.
He's
We've talked
also
about this.
kind of Marshall. He's kind of slow though. That's the problem, bro.
But he would be.
Is he slow in the head like Kai Havertz?
Okay, that's
Listen,
you got me there.
I'm just saying, Carlito, you know.
Let's go backstage, mate.
Carlito,
Let's
gotcha.
go backstage then, yeah? We'll go
Carlito,
backstage.
you know
Might
these
have to
guys
tonight.
that sometimes don't have any pace.
Andrew,
that are
you
a lot
got me
smarter
there,
up
bro.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like but those that don't have a lot of pace or that fast, if they're smart upstairs, they know.
No. I feel like he's a good connector.
Here's the thing. The reason I bring this up is because look, I can be critical. I can be critical of Kai Havertz as well, right? I just feel like sometimes I have to defend him because sometimes Andrew
You're a pussy,
will
man.
say some
Andrew
will have
goes
criticism.
insane with
No,
this.
and Andrew will sometimes have
Andrew
some
tweets
criticism.
things- dude, Andrew tweets things like, if you like Kai Havertz, go fuck yourself.
That's a great tweet. That's a great tweet.
Listen, but sometimes I feel like Andrew will have criticism of it that it's a little unfair. Like, no, now you're saying here, Havertz should have squared this up to Felix. Maybe at this moment, sure. I kind of was expecting him to keep going. Then at this point, I expected him to square it up, but also he could he have?
Yes, he could.
Yes.
Marshall, if I can draw a
Cool,
line
right.
for you, like soccer score, yeah,
No,
he can
no,
literally knock it
You
forward,
guys-
and that
you
guy
guys-
goes in.
clearly
It's
not
just
playing
it
high
seems
level
risky to
football.
me.
Can I
You
just
know what I
say,
mean? Because you have this defender coming full.
He should just score it anyway.
Marshall's
I don't
ahead
care
of the
about
defender.
square.
That's the thing. that Chris just said it. The thing is yes, he could square it, but I'm not expecting him to because in that position, I never ever expect my striker to square it ever in that position. But what I do expect you to do, as I said, is you have to score that. If you're not going to square it, you score.
That's what I'm saying. I'm criticism about the fact. I'm critical of the fact that he didn't score it. He should have scored it. But I'm not getting on him for not passing it to Felix because you have a defender that could potentially slide in and block the pass.
Let's go back to this game. What was
Backstage?
my reaction?
Oh, okay.
When we watched this game together? What was my reaction? And what was your reaction to this when he was approaching the goal?
I thought.
I just said, "God damn it!" I was upset, but you didn't
You
react
did,
at all, man.
Listen,
Look, I always get excited. I'm an emotional guy, all right?
Marshall, what was my reaction to this?
You didn't react at all, dude. You expected it.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I get it. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay. You know what? You're right. Right. Okay. You don't expect him to pass. At least expect him to score. He had enough of the angle right there. He could have scored like that. That's the problem. He didn't think to score, and actually he carries on. Yeah, there we go. So he closes the angle for himself and makes it more difficult right there. Okay. Now everyone's going to go, well, he's not a number 9 and stuff like that. Well, then are we saying then that he hasn't learned anything in 3 years about how to be better in this position?
Marshall again, and like
that's on him then.
I would just say,
no, that's a really. By the way, that's a really good save for anyone that's watching this.
Look, I gotta give.
Are we? No,
do you not hear what Andrew said?
Let's just move on from
I heard what Andrew said.
He made it hard on himself because he literally
Are we dropping all sports knowledge and rationality?
Can you
because we don't like the player? Hold on, because we don't like the player. Are we dropping all rationality and knowledge and saying that that's not a good save? Really?
Listen,
get the fuck out of here.
I would say this: the way he's done that to himself and he's tightened the angle, that's not a good save to me. That's just a random. That's just a save.
If Drogba did that, you would be exonerating him.
The problem between Drogba and Havertz.
Let me answer.
I know that there's a difference, Scott, between Drogba and Havertz. I fucking know that, dude.
Let me do this.
Oh my God.
No, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't like doing Chelsea history.
Christ.
I really don't.
Are you kidding me?
I tell you right now, in Drogba's second season, he did this, and we ripped him to shreds and wanted him out of the club at the end of the second season. Yes, everyone did. He wasn't scoring a lot. He wasn't prolific whatsoever. And
he got good in his late 20s.
Right, but what I'm saying is, after the second full season. But by the way, he had a hand in getting us back-to-back Premier League trophies. Okay, people in certain sections wanted him out because he wasn't finishing well.
It's very
and he was
funny
doing
that
stuff
you say
like
that,
this.
Andrew.
He was doing stuff like this. Okay, he was missing and he was a proper striker, right? But he was missing easy chances like this, and people wanted him out. Now, what I said before is that Kai's had enough time playing in that role to be better than what he's producing right now. Okay, we can't keep going. Oh, he doesn't play in that position. He's played enough times in that position to be better. I tell you what, if you're not that good, stay after, do training after. Like the old school did to be better, like Frank Lampard did to be better. Stay after. Maybe you are. Maybe you can't get any better, but there's no proof of this whatsoever.
Like I said earlier, like the main thing with me with this is like it's not even, and the reason why I don't take this in isolation is because this is like at least about the 10th time I've seen him do this, go through on goal where like he has the chance to score and he just tries to place it. Shall I put your foot through it? Like just put your foot through it. I just don't understand.
Did you want me to stop this, Scott?
No, Scott. What's your solution? Scott is very. By the way, I like Scott. I want to hear a solution. What's your solution?
Where did you want me to stop this?
No.
Like this way, or like go a little bit further because I'm trying to work something out because it's what Andrew said about the closing the gap or like the angle. Nah, maybe not. I was thinking that the other thing that he maybe could do is like try and position it so he can take it on his left foot, but I don't actually know if he could do that because the position.
So are you saying that you've been in this scenario? Really? I have.
The thing is, I will say with this scenario, it is a little bit different. I'm right foot and he's left.
Hold on. Let me speak. The difference between you, Andrew, and I is that I actually have been in this scenario. I was a striker before I was a center mid. Guess what? It's a very difficult angle Okay, he did the best he could. Guess what? Okay, you guys don't want him as a central forward. I get it. Okay, but if you don't give me an alternative, then what you're doing is you're doing the same thing as all the guys at ESPN prior to the name, image, and likeness thing for the college players.
Okay, I'll give you an alternative.
It's the same thing. You are offering criticism without solutions. It's the same thing.
I'll do this because I think we have offered solutions. It's just not coming through. So instead of going straight, you should have actually turned in a bit more. Then you would have actually seen the options.
No, I'm talking about players that are solutions to this problem.
We told you this. You said you don't want Fofana because he drifts wide. I want Fofana given a run of games. I want Oba given a run of games. So they play with a proper striker who's got the natural instincts to do that. But it's not good enough like that.
No, but we're talking about moving forward in June. What is
in
the
June?
solution?
Well, I don't listen. Okay, we said Vlahovic, we said Osimhen, we got Nkunku coming in. We don't know how that's going to affect. With
By the way, Vlahovic. This is the same owner that just gave the best winger probably in Europe, the left side, Kvara, just got a 7-year extension.
Right.
So ADL is not going to sell Osimhen. There's no way.
Okay, that's
fine. You're gonna have to wait until the season after for Osimhen. I've already said that. You're gonna have to wait until there's 1 year left in his contract. Will be the season after this one.
I would say this.
By the way, he will re-sign Osimhen for a 7-year deal. Same thing, because they are too good to disrupt what they have. They are. That owner is too smart. That owner is too smart.
Okay, the thing is this, right? And this is what I hate about this situation like this. Just because there might be little options on it doesn't mean we have to stick with Kai Havertz.
You're right, but you're not giving me a long-term solution.
Okay, I don't listen. I give it. Well, okay.
It's not his job, but to be fair,
go for Ivan Toney after his ban. I would take him, even with his ban. I would take him.
It's just not enough for me to suffice how critical you have been to Kai. It's just not. It doesn't. But I don't
understand this protectionism of him. I really don't. What has he done to deserve this type of protection from you? I don't understand.
Fucking minerals,
I'm not protecting him. I am saying you need to give me a solution.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why? Give me a solution. Why we need to stick with Kai Havertz?
Why not try even Ivan Ferguson?
That's what I don't know. I don't see. I've given you options. Give me a reason why we stick with Kai Havertz. What has he shown you for 3 years that we need to stick with Kai Havertz in this team?
Fucking minerals, bruv.
Doesn't need anything else.
Hold on. Can I finish? Before minerals.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just had to put that in there. You set it up.
By the way, the guy that his name is George Jackson says, "I'm sorry, but Carlito is insufferable to listen to. Too bad, motherfucker."
We all have our favorites. We all have our
Too bad, motherfucker.
I'm sure some of you hate me.
I mean,
so
the guy I want to see. Look. The guy I want to see is the guy I want to see is Christopher Nkunku. I know he's not a striker, but the thing is that Man City won 3 titles without a striker, and I feel as though the way that we play, if we keep João Felix, I would like to see that, Madueke, Mudryk, who didn't even play today, which is inexplicable, João Felix and Nkunku. I feel like that 4 in a 4-2-3-1 would actually figure it out. That's what I would like to see. So if you wanted an answer, I just gave you an answer. Because it's an answer. By the way, it's an answer that didn't cost any money.
No.
Because Nkunku's already coming.
My question was why we stick with Havertz. That was my initial thing. I just gave you an answer that doesn't involve That's fine.
Havertz.
That's fine. And I gave you options as well, but you didn't accept them.
No, I didn't accept them because guess what, dude? They were not viable.
Well, we can't. But we can't do anything. You said we got June. You went to June coming in. Okay, we'll go to June. Let's go and buy Tony. Let's go and buy.
As for now, I mean,
but that's the
Potter did not let Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go even into UCL. I mean, so we
have I not? But I've admitted that Champions League is he's in because he's our only option. I'm talking just Premier League now.
Yeah,
we don't need to play him every game for 90 minutes at all. Start looking at your 2 other options that you can play. You don't have to play him for 90 minutes every game. Every game you play him for 90 minutes, and he doesn't offer you everything. Obviously, every game he doesn't offer you much. Okay.
Playing devil's advocate.
So is there a difference between offering you nothing and not offering you much? Because you seem to vacillate between those two different criticisms.
Can I give you something that he does offer?
What's
Just playing devil's advocate here, right?
Better
Don't
be good, I swear to
fucking
God.
please don't suck my
Marshall,
throat. Okay?
I'm just not gonna let I'm not gonna let Andrew be allowed to speak. No, look, Andrew, I'm not gonna let Andrew speak.
Let me talk. Oh my God.
I am not going to let Andrew speak.
Listen, this is all I'm gonna say. What if what he offers? This stream is great. What if what he offers?
To let Andrew be so flippant about Havertz. I'm just not going to allow it. I'm just not going to allow it.
This is what I don't. This is what I don't get. Sorry, you've not offered me any defense of Havertz whatsoever, apart from complaining what I'm complaining.
Oh, he combines very well. What are you talking about?
What does he do?
I just said it.
Combines what? Combines
He
shit with
combines
shit.
very well.
With what though? With
What
what?
does that mean? Combines well.
If you don't
Is he even
know what
combines well?
that means,
No.
then I
I'm not gonna
can't.
do
I think he
You're
means
not getting
links
away
up.
with
He
it.
links up
You're not
well.
getting away
He
with
links
it.
up well.
You can.
If you can't understand that answer, by the way,
No,
I'm
no,
fucking
I'm
with
not-
Andrew.
you're not doing
I'm
this.
fucking.
You know who
not
else has
doing
good
it.
link up?
You're not doing
Aubameyang.
You know what? You're not doing this.
This is
Look
not
at
like that's
Ronaldo.
fair.
How does he? Who's he combined well with? All the time.
The people around him.
Oh, that is such a lame bullshit answer.
Oh.
You are so bullshit right now. That is so bull.
Mark,
You're
what are
right.
you gonna say?
This is how I feel whenever
Yeah, I'm
you
quite curious
criticize
what
him
Marshall
baselessly.
Oh, I was gonna say it in private chat, so Carlito could say it for me, since he's not gonna let me say it. What I wanted to say was that what if he provides a consistent player in that lineup, so that the players are familiar with how they play. So it's more so for the other players to have like, oh, we know how Kai plays. This is how we're gonna, work around him. Maybe that's why he's
Can I ask you
consistently in
something,
there. Fofana's kind
Why
of a
does he
curveball. You don't
deserve
know how he
that?
links up.
Why does he
Oba,
deserve that?
Can I ask
does
you
he
something?
deserve that? Why does
Hey.
he deserve everyone?
Let's have it right.
he's
Can
scoring
I-
the Champions
Have it
League.
right.
Let's have it right, bro.
Can I ask
Go,
you something?
Marshall.
That earns you a lot.
Marshall, can I ask
Marshall.
Marshall, are you saying that Andrew is a brown envelope? What are you saying?
Hang on.
No, I'm not
I've got
saying
to say
anything.
this. I've got to
Marshall,
say
you want
this.
my
I've
argument?
got to
Right.
say this. Hang on, Scott. Really, because I've got
Okay,
to know
yeah.
you're thinking the same thing as me. Why does every other player have to sacrifice for Kai Havertz?
I'm playing devil's advocate. Please don't kill me.
He's not a generational talent.
Marshall, I feel as though you're gonna whip out. I'm
You're a
a
disgrace.
fan of man.
It's a disgrace
You know
for
what?
this salary. You're
Like-
a disgrace. You're a
Look
disgrace.
at what you got
But
the
why-
chat saying about me.
Yeah. But why does I'll let Scott go? And my question is, why does everyone have to sacrifice for Kai Havertz? Why doesn't he sacrifice for other people?
Sounds like
Why doesn't he do that? I'll leave it up to you, Scott. Go on. You probably
I
want
was
to say
just going to
something.
say, like, if we're using that argument, and I get you guys are playing devil's advocate, like, why could we not use the same argument, or could we use the same argument for why Mount played all the time? Like, could we not use the same
Mount,
argument?
Mount was shit. Mount had nothing. They used to
Oh,
we had nothing.
And when we
This
go
is
back to
this is the
FIFA,
issue I have. This is the issue that I have when fans bring up Mount. For some reason, Havertz always gets lumped into it. Yes, I know they're both having bad seasons, but they're both playing bad in very different ways. Havertz can't score as a striker, but he's doing everything else decently. Mount has been shit, period. All season. He hasn't been able to link up
I
properly.
can't lie,
He hasn't been able to
when-
do his...
when I heard the deja vu, when I was talking about the deja vu stuff, when I'm hearing about the runs he makes and how he presses, that's the same sort of nonsense we were talking about with Mount. Like all the off the ball stuff, all that he presses, he works hard, he links the attack, the midfield to the attack. That's all we kept hearing about Mount. And I'm hearing the same stuff. I'm hearing the same stuff with Kai. Like he presses really well.
Scott,
He
that is
links
not the same thing.
I'm hearing
That's
the
not
same
what we're
thing.
saying. Scott, we're not saying that he presses well, that's why he's playing. That's not what we're saying. We're saying he links well. There is a profound disparity between pressing well and linking well. I would thank you to remember that.
I will say this because I've just been told in my house that I'm waking people up. because I'm shouting
No.
because it's very late.
By the way, you most certainly are shouting.
Yes, I do apologise. I don't mean to shout. But...
Why do you apologise? What do you apologise?
No, because it's my house. No, I'm not apologising to anyone here. I couldn't give a fuck
You
about
shut
whether I'm out here. It's just,
Man, you attacked me, and I was just playing devil's advocate. I wanted an apology.
Marshall, first of all, I don't want you ever playing devil's advocate again. I couldn't give a fuck about devil's advocate.
Dude, by the way, Andrew, you watch that movie, you watch Al Pacino.
Oh my days.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
it's a classic movie.
Watch that shit. It's unbelievable.
It's a classic movie, but I'll just say
great.
this: is that I agree with Scott. No, I don't think everything's like the same, but I agree with that. We are putting some excuses in. It's like, oh, he'll play better with better players around him, stuff like that. We shouldn't actually. Maybe we should go. Actually, other players will become shit around him, like the other players have become shit around him. Okay, and stuff like that. I just think, this guy just gets so many, like second chances, third chances to try and do stuff, and we get the one out of the blue moon pass or a
Today,
goal
the Chilwell pass, for example.
Yeah. Or just the pass that Carlito said today. It's like. Oh yeah, he did that. What did he do for? You know when you know what it is. It goes back to this when he shushed us against West Ham.
Yeah,
and he scored that goal.
I knew it. I knew that's what this was about.
That was a cherry. That was a cherry on top of the cake. That was a cherry on top of the cake. When he shushed us, and then didn't do anything for 9-10 games later, it's ridiculous. And I think I just, it's not even the fact that. And it's really not really when I go this. It's not on him. It's actually Potter for keeping picking him. But it's Potter for not actually trying to do anything else. I think I'm right to judge after 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah.
Not
No,
3
I get it.
It's 3
I
years.
get it. I think we broke Carlito.
I can't help it.
How many years?
He's mad because he got shushed.
Scott.
No, that was the cherry on top. Hold up.
Scott, remember what always told when
Holy
he first
shit.
started? Put him on.
We've lost Carlito.
But I'm just saying, Scott, do you remember
We
what we always
shushed Carlito.
told every season since he's been here? He's a second half of the season player. Second half of the season player.
Anymore,
Well, that we've lost that
like,
now.
like I
at
said,
this
I'm
point.
in the same boat as you were. It's like I'm just tired of hearing the excuses now because, like as I said, it's a lot of it or some of it is in the same vein of what I heard from Mount fans, and like that's the problem I have with it all. Of like, it's the same kind of stuff. Like as I said, like you mentioned earlier, Master, in terms of like the pressing, like and where the person in the comments said it, like the press looked better. It's like, cool. I was hearing the same thing about Mount fans, and then we reached a point where Mount is now just shit, and it's like. I'm just having a mad sense of deja vu where I feel like I'm just hearing the same sorts of stuff that I heard. It's the same stuff I heard people like no offense, Chris, by the way, but like it's the same stuff I heard like from Fata and Chris and others about
I won't
Werner
make
in
the same
terms of, like,
mistake.
off the ball runs. It's the same stuff.
I get it. No, I get it.
It's the same stuff.
Scott, you're shitting on Fatur, man. What's going on, man?
It's the same.
Me and
It's the
Fata
same
made that
things I'm hearing. It's
Come on, man.
it's all
What
the
are you
same
doing with
excuses.
Fatur, man? I like Fatur.
It's all in the same
I like
vein. Like it's this, as Sean said it right. It's like it's Morata as well. It's like it's the same excuses I was hearing about Morata under Sarri. It's like
but why are you bringing
it's just-
Fatur into this? Come on, man.
No,
Allow it. Yeah.
We made the same excuses for Timo Werner basically, and I'm not doing it again for Havertz.
I just feel like I'm back in that position again where I'm just hearing the same
I'm not
excuses.
making excuses. I'm just trying to like when Scott tried to compare Mount and Havertz, or it seemed like he was trying to compare. I just wanted to differentiate because Scott,
Come on.
Havertz is objectively better than Mount. Like that's like don't get it twisted. He's objectively better, but
in this season alone, he's been better. Yeah,
I was going to say, but it's more the excuses I'm hearing to defend Havertz are in the same vein of what I was hearing in terms of Mount stands were saying and diffusing excuse of this like similar excuses to defend Mount, and it's like I'm seeing the same thing here. So it's like give me actual reasons. Like the link up play, like that's fair. Like he has decent link up play. But it's like I don't want to hear pressing. I don't want to hear like, you know, that being that person that's always in the team and whatnot. It's like that was Mount. That was Mount. Like most of last season, and people weren't happy that he played. So I don't want to hear that he plays all the time because him playing all the time is not necessarily like a good thing. Like, so it's just...
Yeah, I saw that.
This.
Give me his assist.
Did we even play a game today?
Peter
We just talked about Havertz. This has been the Havertz debate.
No,
that everyone wanted.
Peter is just throwing, oh my God. All right, look.
Peter, give me
Marshall, I
Feeling
gotta
the fire.
go. I know.
Oh yeah,
Peter,
we're
with
probably
that-
gonna wrap
that
up too.
a-
But
with
go
that
ahead.
asshole comment. Look. My point is this: I am extremely pleased with the back three that we had. Okay,
Yes.
I love the way that Benoit Badiashile, Kalidou Koulibaly, and my guy, Wesley Fofana. I love the way that he operated in particular. I want him to, when he has space, to push more. So whenever he's got the ball and he's got speed, push more, exploit space, invite the guy that's, marking the guy that he wants to pass to, that type of shit. That's coaching stuff. But outside of that, this is more along the lines of, I don't give a fuck about how we won. I care about the fact that we won. That matters more than anything else. Form and everything else. Ooh, guess what? We got 3 points today, and I don't care about anything else because we needed it. And guess what? A lot of people saying we wanted to lose today because that would mean Potter would get fired. The people that said that, go fuck yourself because you are not real Chelsea fans. You're just Twitter guys. Suck my dick. See you guys.
Yeah.
No, you can hold that, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Go suck his dick, Chris.
There we go.
I won't feel ashamed yet. I just wanted a guy out who's ruined
Oh
my
my
I won't feel
God.
ashamed.
Here we go. Right? And Peter got it for me. I thank you, Peter, very much.
7 assists in 80.
7 assists in 80 games, guys. 7 assists in 80 games.
You just asked me
So
for a
that
drum
is-
roll. I have a drum roll.
That's some good link up.
That's 1 assist every nearly 11 and a half games. 1 assist in 11 and a half games. So when people tell me, and you know what, I'll let him do it himself.
Oh shit!
You know, Andrew, can I just say, do you know what that, Andrew, do you know what that equates to in a league season? That's at best 4 assists in a league season.
4 assists in the league season. How many goals is that? Like what? Like
Let me work it out. Let Peter go and I'll work it out.
If he goes goalless for his next 5 appearances, which will probably happen, he'll be a 1 in 5 player in the Premier League over the course of 3 seasons. Assist, he's about like 1 in 10, 1 in 11. So is that? I mean, I don't even need to ask, but like that's not great. Let's be nice.
Not great. It's generational.
You know that's 21%, by the way.
I was going to say that goal record is about a 1 in just over a 1 in 5. That goal record, the 17 out of 80 is 1 in 5.
No, when
So
he goes goalless in his next 5, it'll be exactly 1 in 5. So
exactly 1 in 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking at then.
do you know what? That's going to happen, and I'm still not going to be shocked by it. That's the thing.
Yeah, but like,
it's
guys,
That's
we were so close to greatness today. We were so close to being free, man.
Dortmund.
just looking now. By the way, just on that, that's roughly you're looking at about a 7 or 8 goal a season.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's he's barely hitting 15 GNA. That's barely a 15 GNA season.
By the way,
not
that's
hitting that,
that's Jorginho rate with penalties. By the way, that's Jorginho scoring rate with penalties.
He's not even doing Chris Wood at Burnley levels.
Dude, I think Reece Nelson's up there probably. He scored more recently than today. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
It,
Also,
it is not hate because I think hate. You have to really do something to me for me to really hate you. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like Potter's getting there.
I don't like us being branded haters for not thinking the guys are good.
But what I'm saying is that why does he get he gets more? Do you know what? He gets more than, and I'm going to say this right now. He gets more protection than Mount. This guy, okay? He gets
it's
more
about on the
excuses.
same level.
He gets more excuses made for him. Remember this transfer window? You watch Kai Havertz when he gets better players around him.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to watch those players.
I don't. Go ahead.
Because Kai Havertz is playing with.
I just wanted to address someone in the chat. I didn't call Jester a twat. I called him a cunt because he is a cunt.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
You know what?
Oh,
I don't know why you
no.
did it, Scott, but I support you for doing that. It's okay.
What the fuck happened?
I have no
No,
idea.
we don't need to talk about this on stream, Chris. What the fuck?
I have no idea what happened. It doesn't even matter. You gotta be
Fucking Chris, you're such a cunt.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I'm not Papa Charles.
I just needed to get that out there. Carry on.
That's a pretty mild-mannered, mellow guy. He's equally as depressed that we're just not good. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like it's like when I was speaking to Carlito, I said, "Why is that?" Well, I just switched to him, and I said, "He didn't give me an actual answer." I said, "Why do we need to keep Havertz?" It was like, "Why do we don't even try?" If you think about it, if you have only Havertz as your Champions League striker, then you should be playing him less in the Premier League because he's not doing anything in the Premier League, right? You should be playing for fun. You should be playing Aubameyang or something like that. And I only think now, Aubameyang's only on the subs bench now, so Potter's not asked about him. Do you know what I mean? He's only on the subs bench now. I swear to you, PR. I swear it's a PR thing now. So no one brings up. He's part of the squad.
I did just want to say as well, like the more I think about it, the argument of like, oh, Kane never got dropped or Salah and Mane never got dropped. Yeah, because they were scoring every game.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
these men are on form and scoring
Also,
like damn
like,
every game.
also, like there wasn't really people to drop them for that made any sense.
No, but Peter, even if there was, like, you could make the case like that maybe you could give other players more time. Like, for example, at the moment, like you could make the case that maybe Richarlison or maybe ex-player at Tottenham deserves to have more game time, or at the moment, or maybe like last season, that other players deserve more time. But it's like the reason they weren't getting more time is because these guys were scoring damn near every week. Like Mohamed Salah was breaking records. Like
also Harry Kane. Let's be honest, Spurs don't get very far in cup competitions. It's one in a blue moon, so he's only playing league games from like February onwards, usually, or March onwards. You know what I mean?
So I take it we've had a long, drawn-out conversation about Kai Havertz again.
I don't know how we did that.
It happened.
This became a Havertz stream.
Look, guys,
I'm here for it.
Look, guys, I wish he scored more goals. I wish, you know, I don't know what to say other than like my sneaky suspicion that our front players are not good is like proving out to be correct, which is disappointing. Like, I don't know.
What gave you that impression?
So Scott, remember last season, right? We played at Anfield, the 1-1 draw where Reece got the red card.
Yeah.
I want you to go back and I want you to watch that game. Everybody was
upset. Runs.
Everybody was upset at Anthony Taylor. We let the real criminals up top get away with it.
Yep, Lukaku's runs.
After that game was Lukaku and Anthony Taylor. I'm like, I cannot believe these two guys either side of Lukaku got away with this. I could not believe it. I watched the first half back, and I was like, you know what? That was when I was like, I can never believe in these guys, and I never will, and nothing will ever get me back to believing in them. And that was like 18 months ago. So I've had 18 months of this, and it sucks that like most of our fan base seems to be kind of on one side of this argument, and it's not the good side. But like, it sucks that it took us this long to get here, and we have to be in 10th place. At least we didn't drop to 11 today, so shout out to the boys.
We did during the game. We did drop 11 during the game.
Hey, we were bottom half for a bit, but now we're back, baby. Now we're back.
I would say as well. I think this game. I think the points this game. I know I said it before, but I think we're guaranteed to stay up after this. Just because, as I said, we're 13 points ahead from.
Yes, big
17.
results at the bottom, meaning like we're actually like 13 points clear of the red line now. So
yeah, as I said, I said on the last stream, there's too many teams below us for like them all to pick up points to be able to overtake us. Like we might drop a couple of places, but I don't think we're getting relegated.
But I want to say this. I want to say this. There is celebration. We are taking something from the season. With Newcastle conceding those 2 goals today, our Premier League defensive record is intact for another season.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We got something out of this season.
Like Denzel Washington said, I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah, 04-05 season. We only conceded 15 league goals, and it still stands.
Yo, we're like Arsenal fans, man.
So, like, have we looked forward to Tuesday at all?
No.
We're gonna lose.
We can't play 3 at the back. We're gonna have to play 4.
No, we can't.
I mean, it'd be tough. I just don't trust. I don't trust putting Chalobah in there.
So,
Marshall, it's not even that, bro. I guarantee you.
Marshall, here's the question that you really need to ask me, bro. Would you rather put Chalobah in there and maintain the one shape we've looked like a competent team in the last like 3 months? Or would you rather not play him and just risk complete and utter chaos?
You have to go with the 3 in the back.
Easy. I think there's a pretty easy answer here.
Yeah, no, I think we're
going
to be forced to
out
pick
either way.
3 in
I
the
don't
back.
think it matters too tough.
Do you know what I think the other option is? And do you know what I think is more likely to be?
Cucurella.
Cucurella, left centre back, my guys. We're going to see Cucurella Chilwell link up again. We're going to see that beautiful Cucurella Chilwell link up.
Scott, when we see Loftus-Cheek and Chilwell as wingbacks with Reece James as third center back, I'm gonna tweet a picture of Thomas Tuchel on the timeline when the lineup gets released. Thomas Tuchel with a couple of dev emojis. But hey, man, they insulted the tactics. They said it was limiting.
You might have got rid of the guy, but you didn't get rid of the idea.
I'm telling you.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have more faith in Cucurella. There's a player in there. There's a player in there. You know what? He's gonna play left center back and he's gonna do a smashing job. Why? Because Sterling isn't left wing back in that game. It's gonna be Chilwell. That might be a difference maker.
You guys watch Chilwell in the game in Germany?
He got spit roasted. That's what
We're gonna put Chilwell and Cucurella on the same side.
I was going to say, Marshall, you're right. There is a player in Cucurella. I'll tell you what, there's not any sort of chemistry between Cucurella and Chilwell when they're both playing on the left. Absolutely none. None. There's nothing there. There's no chemistry with there.
I didn't bring this up for us to get depressed on purpose. I was just asking the question.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think about it like reasonably here, because to be fair, when Chilwell came back, it just the first time he started playing since that knee injury last season. It was a knee injury, right? Yeah. The injury he got last season.
I think.
So he was getting back into the swing of the game. So you can maybe say maybe that's a factor. And then this time around, he's getting back into fitness. Maybe that's another factor too. I don't know. I'm curious. I would like to try it. I'm not opposed to the idea of trying him again.
I think two things. I think that we are 20 subscribers away from 1,700. So thank you very much.
Well, that's not a thought. That's a fact.
Yeah, but I like to express that thought in dance. No, not just my thoughts. Actually.
Please don't dance.
Hey, shut up, Peter, man. I go with the flow. And also get those likes up. Yeah, just get those likes up, please.
If you guys have enjoyed the content so far, get the likes
the content so far, man. You know what I mean?
This isn't great. This isn't great.
This is us after we won a game. What's it now in I can't remember last time we won. Was it Bournemouth? Was it?
Yes.
Was it?
No. Palace. We beat Palace.
Yeah, we beat Palace.
That's a lie. We beat Palace.
Oh yeah.
March.
We're talking about 6 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, we scored a goal today. We scored a goal
today, which means we're -1 goal difference. So we're nearly up to the same amount of games to goal ratio we had so proudly before. But listen, I thought the game was Wednesday, but it's actually closer, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's sort of like
hey man, you get to wake up on Wednesday, you get to salvage what's left of your week, and just the sun will shine again.
That's true. True.
The sun will shine again, just not on Tuesday, brothers. Okay.
It'll be a cloudy day on Thursday.
But you know what's funny? Everyone's going, "Oh, we need to score 2 to go through." No, we need to score 1 and go to penalties. That's all we need.
Yeah, but Andrew, do you see us winning a penalty shootout?
I'm trying to see every.
You want to watch us play for 120 minutes?
I don't want to
if he gets us through, yeah.
I was tired. I was tired after 120 seconds today, so it's all good.
Be honest, man.
Either
score 2 in 50
you're
minutes
forgetting this, right? As soon as the 90 minutes are up, I would then go away for half an hour and then come back to watch the penalties. So I'll give myself a break.
Something like
Yeah,
we get depends. In God's
hand. Exactly. I would go away for half an hour, expecting penalties, come back, and then go through the penalties. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go 120 straight. I'd give myself
we either need to score twice in like 10 minutes or concede like 4 in like 5
my god! Oh my god!
Okay.
I can't see anyone in that game.
This guy's like Foley at the '98 Royal Rumble, man. Mankind booted up a Cactus Jack.
I need a ring bell on my soundboard. I really do.
I have to say, Peter, no lie, You killed me with that stat, dude.
Hey, this is Kai Havertz in almost 3 years, man. I didn't do this. This is
Bro, that was devastating, man. That was, oh God, he's broken in half. I mean, bro.
The people's elbow.
Look, I wish Kai Havertz had more goals. Trust me, I do.
Of course, everyone.
I mean, like, you're not really rooting against him, right?
No, I don't have to.
I don't think any of us are, really.
I've advanced past rooting against our own players.
All
like
right,
6
Scott,
months ago.
thanks.
No, I don't. No. I was agreeing. that like I don't root against any of our players.
Right.
I agree with Peter in terms of like they do it for us. I don't have to root against them.
Like, it's just, when I saw Peter's stat, I was like, oh fuck. I don't know what to say.
It's not great. We got Chris Wood at Burnley level.
It's not great, Bob. It's not great, Bob.
Look, I don't know. Like I can want the best for the players while also acknowledging they're probably not gonna like come through.
Peter, I'm gonna have to ask you the same question, man. What's the solution, dude?
So
no, because look, I've put Andrew to the task, Marshall, Scott, everyone in between. You got to give me a solution here, man.
All right, so we have like 30 players. At least like 18 of them need to leave.
Yeah,
I'll be completely honest with you. If I was building an actual team with respectable adults in it, less of our players would be here than would walk out the door.
You're right, but if Graham Potter is saying that, and he's saying, look, we have too many players, it's disrupting our practice because a lot of players are sitting on the sidelines, they're chilling, right? People are killing him for saying that, Peter. They're saying that's just another excuse when I'm like, oh, I've actually been there as a coach. I'm saying, whoa, too many players is too many players. So, Peter, you tell me that's actually a viable excuse, even if it's not me saying he's making excuses.
Yeah, but like if you are the coach at Chelsea, right? Because it's one thing to have this problem at like the grassroots level, but like if you're the coach at Chelsea and your job is kind of under pressure and you can acknowledge that, if you can't deal with the group size, the thing to do would be to trim down the size of the group. Granted, that's not really in Graham Potter's personality because he's very much a nice guy. So, like, great, but just understand part of what he's going to have to deal with is these larger groups. He could tell 5 or 6 of them, like, hey, go train with the youngers or set up 2 sessions if you wanted to. It makes your day longer. Like, I don't know. Like, but again, if you're going to sign 9 players in January and have 6 different players come into the squad in the middle of a season where we probably already have too many players, then this is a problem that should have been able to be seen from like months down the road. This isn't like a surprising thing to me. I don't know why this is coming across as surprising to people.
Yeah, but at the same time, Peter, we can't get rid of them until, I don't know, June 1.
So then my thing would have been, if we're going to bring in these players and if we're going to then have issues with the size of the camp, then maybe we should have just run it out for the season and then brought in players when we could actually push players out. Like, I don't know.
It's a little bit of a hindsight, man.
I didn't have much hope before these players got in. You never saw.
But you can't say that what we brought in isn't great quality because we did bring in.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is.
Ooh,
it would be nice to be, but I'll be honest with you.
So you're doubting the players that we bought?
100%. Yes.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Well, this is a different conversation.
Yeah, I don't. They're good. They're good ideas. They're nice players.
On paper is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I get it from like a talent perspective, but in terms of trying to put together a team when you've already got a bunch of parts moving in multiple different directions, then now we don't know what our cornerstone pieces are besides the people who play at the back.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same position we were in 6 months ago, right? Like we had a bunch of midfielders who were either gonna leave or were battling to stay fit. We had a bunch of underperforming front players. We had wingbacks who couldn't really stay fit or had long-term injuries. Now we have more wingbacks. They're just either out of form, or we have Reese who seemingly gets tight hamstrings from waking up and walking downstairs. Now we still have
that's rude.
It's true. How do you have?
I know it's true. I'm not.
You played
I'm
twice
not
in 16 days. How's your hamstring tight? Do some
look,
stretching.
hey, buddy, I'm not less frustrated than you are, dude. Seriously.
But like, okay, so we have front players who can't score. We have wingbacks who are not great or can't stay fit.
Hold on. So because you say that, you're saying Ben Chilwell is not great. He's a wingback. I think he's great.
Hey, look, man, I watched Chilwell chase Wolf up and down the right-hand side in Germany, and I don't want that for my future, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, but again, you're criticizing without offering solutions.
All right, look, but I'm saying we are largely in the same position we were in 6 to 8 months ago, despite adding a bunch of perceived quality to this team.
Okay,
we don't know what the cornerstone pieces are. We don't.
What do you say about Nkunku coming in as well?
Well, I don't mind that, provided a bunch of these attackers actually leave.
By the way, I'm with you on that.
It doesn't do any good to bring in Nkunku into this mess of an attacking salad with guys like Pulisic who don't really play, Ziyech who tries to leave the club every window and is somehow still here for whatever reason. You've got Kai Havertz who might leave. You've got Fofana, and I genuinely forget about him, but he's here. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Who knows if they'll let Aubameyang even leave at this point? They might just leave him on the bench to prove something sadistic. I don't know. You've got Mason Mount and his whole situation. I saw Conor Gallagher. I don't know why the hell I saw him in the front three at the end of the game.
He was bad.
Like, we have a bunch of guys that don't seem to fit in any sort of ideal scenario. Provided we have N'Golo Kante is going to sign an extension. We don't actually know if he can play anymore. We haven't seen it since Tuchel was here. We don't know. It would be nice if he could play, but we don't know. We have
forgot who that player was.
Put out the door. Jorginho is gone. So our main central midfield players that won us the Champions League are gone. Our attackers are still kind of all in the same boat of, nice guys, but let's be serious. And like our center backs are good. They seem to be pretty good.
They are, by the way, Peter, they are good.
Yeah, but like,
don't just say they're kind of good. They are good. Come on.
Okay, so they are good. Great. We're in the same spot we were in a year ago.
I know, but look.
Now
you are asking.
Maybe? I don't know.
Peter, you're asking expensive questions. Okay.
Oh yeah, we already tried expensive solutions. They didn't work.
But you're right, and that's the problem, dude.
I don't know what to do besides that's why I'm saying a lot of these players need to go. Like, if we're not going to be in Europe, right? We're not going to have that.
That's not a certainty. Come on.
Oh, let's be very honest with ourselves.
No, I am being very honest with you, Peter.
Okay, if you think we're scoring enough goals to get into Europe, then fair enough.
I am saying that if on Tuesday we win, there is a possibility.
Look, if we're going to get into Europe with like 30 goals across the season, then cool. I don't know how we did that, but
I'm talking about Champions League, man.
I know. We're not getting Conference League.
If he wins the Champions League, he gets a fucking statue. I don't give a fuck.
By the way, Andrew, I'm going to remember you said that.
If he wins the Champions League, I'm not going to complain. It's just like,
I'm not either.
Be serious.
But I am being serious, Peter. I'm not what I'm saying is that I know that this team has good players on it. What you're saying is that this team doesn't have good players.
I'm saying the good players don't fit together to make a good team. Sort of team. And I'm saying we don't know what direction we want to go in besides next season. Enzo's going to play center mid. Reece James is probably going to be right back. Yeah. And then we've got a bunch of center backs of whom we can pair two together and make a pretty good pairing. Outside of that, we don't really know.
Peter, have you ever considered that chemistry is difficult to establish, and if it was easy, everybody would do it?
Yes, but now we're changing things from week to week. You have players.
By the way, Peter, there is no Kevin Durant, solution on this team. There isn't.
I understand that, but we bought Mudryk for entirely too much cash. Whatever. Where has he been? I don't know.
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Yeah, we have Felix who's playing every game, which I don't really mind. Whatever. It kind of makes sense. Our right-hand side seems to shift between Ziyech. I don't know why he's still in the rotation. He's actively trying.
Really weird.
Madueke and Sterling, which all right.
I like Madueke, by the way.
I don't mind either of them, but we need to settle on something.
Yeah,
but you're looking for a requisite magic wand that doesn't exist.
I'm looking for some sort of dogmatic consistency in terms of selection to actually begin to
some stability in the lineup at least.
Fine. That's fair. But
I'm not even asking for results. I'm not asking for results. I'm not here saying we need to be doing this, and I'm just asking for a couple goals here and there. I don't care if we draw 3-3 or if we lose 4-3. I'm tired of sitting through 0-0s. I'm tired of this. I just want to see us building something. It doesn't look like any of our players.
But again,
up front are
all
getting
the
better.
criticism, you're still not offering me a requisite solution.
My requisite
I think
solution is settle on a consistent team, roll with that, and begin to develop some sort of patterns in the final third that would lead to consistent chance creation.
And Peter, if we lose games because of that requisite solution and that consistency,
we're losing games
lose.
now.
No,
So it
no,
doesn't change
hold on. We won today.
We won a game today, sure.
Let him finish, Marshall. Let him finish.
We won
been
today.
shit.
We won today under a template of our previous coach, which I don't have a problem with. I'm clear.
Whoa! A template.
Yes.
A 3-5-2 is not exclusive to one manager. What are you talking about?
A 3-4-3.
That is not accurate, Peter. Come on.
If you want to sit here and say Graham Potter woke up a year ago thinking he'd play Loftus-Cheek at wingback in the Premier League.
No, by the way, you and I, Peter, you and I both watched Loftus against Real Madrid. We both watched that game. He was surreal.
Whose idea was that? Whose idea was that? Who put that into practice?
No, I know that, but you're not going to say that a formation is defined by one manager. That is an absurd comment.
Hey, after this guy had been playing with this nonsense 4-2-3-1 for weeks and almost lost his job
A
because
4-2-3-1. So that's defined by him, huh?
I just don't see the point in reverting back to what we were allegedly trying to get away from to chase results to save your job.
Fair enough.
Either like have confidence in your own stuff or just revert to this full time. If this is what's getting the results, then if you want to stick with this, then stick with it.
That's fine, but you can't just say that a formation is defined by a manager. That's not true.
Look, man, that looked very Tuchelish to me, which is cool. I'm okay with that. I have no problem with Graham Potter reverting to the Tuchel stuff.
By the way, why wouldn't he?
It makes sense. It's better than what we've been doing. I would have no problem with him doing this on Tuesday.
Yeah, but wouldn't that make him smart and make him flexible?
Yes, it would have been nice to do this 2 months ago before this got
no shit,
bad.
dude. No shit.
But like
nice
two games ago, let alone 2 months.
This, can I just say, it's like
everybody is a genius when we suck. All right, that's my point.
I'm not even pretending my solution would work.
No. By the way, Peter, I'm not disagreeing with you. I totally agree with you. My point is that everyone is complaining about this team, Peter. Everyone is complaining about this team.
3 games in 3 months.
But it's not. Yeah, but the thing is, my point is this: it doesn't make you a better fan, and it not you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the royal you, the editorial you. It doesn't make Chelsea fans better fans just because they're complaining. Like I see all these guys and they're all complaining, say, "I have standards. I have standards." Yeah, so is everyone else. So does everyone else, man. Everyone has standards.
Look, my standards aren't even that high for this season. I would just like
that's fair. That's fair. No, I'm just saying, like these fans are so.
I don't even care if you win.
Complaining.
I don't care that much. I'm just tired of seeing 1 goal every 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you
I think that's fair.
Let me ask you a question, Peter. When you got alerted, I don't know if you watched the game.
I was at work. I watched the first half from my desk, but yeah, I had to get up.
When you got the alert, when you got the alert that we scored, did you do one or two things? Did you like go, "Are you sure?" and then wait for?
I forgot to celebrate.
I saw Wesley Fofana. I saw Wesley Fofana corner kick. And I just immediately thought to myself, I was like, we're back to where we started, huh?
this is what we know. Defenders
Peter, you gotta like him. You gotta like him as a player.
I don't mind Fofana. I don't mind Badiashile. I said it at the time, not including Badiashile in the UCL squad was a crazy idea.
Yeah.
It's
you want attacking players. I get it. Yeah. But I like our defensive players. I liked our defensive players we had previously before the UK government tried to kill our club.
True.
Now we have cool center backs. We have a right back who's cool if he can get out of bed, and we'll go from there.
Scott, what were you gonna say? And then I'm gonna wrap this one up.
On the like the
Fuck
Potter
it,
thing or like
Peter.
the formation thing, and like the thing is we've already seen him change before because like we started under Potter playing the 3 at the back, and then
Yeah.
we changed. Everyone hated it, and everyone wanted us to play 4 at the back. We changed the 4 at the back because we thought it was going to do so much better, and it didn't.
And it started going
And then we've
downhill
gone
from
back to
there.
3 at the back, and it's like it does just feel a little bit like he is panicking, and he's like he's kind of just doing. Like there's no plan. Like it's like Peter says, like all we bro. Like I said before, I got hope. Maybe hope's the wrong word, but I had some hope after the last Dortmund game because of the way we played. And it's like you can
Tucked you in,
convince me.
Scott. They got you.
They did, but it's like maybe hope's the wrong word, but it's like you can keep me on board by just doing a few basic things. Like for example, like having a consistent team. Like say Havertz, like if Havertz is going to be your number 9, that's calm. But like, make sure the team around him is going to be the same as well. If your midfield pivot is Kovacic and Enzo, they should be playing damn near every week that they're fit to. Like, rotate them out in the game when you need to. But if they are fit enough to play, they should be playing in when they can. So they build chemistry. Like, and focus on a way of playing as well. Focus on a more formation and a system that you want to play. Stop with this like switching about. This like need to go from like 3 at the back to 4 at the back to from a 3-4-3 to a 3-1-4-1-1 like box midfield to a 4-3-3. Like just focus on something. Like that was the one thing that pissed me off about Tuchel in terms of it. I kept seeing frigging switches. It's like I kept like seeing people playing out positions. Just try something that's gonna work and you want to stick with, because then I can get behind you. Like even if it's not quite going well, I can see what you're trying to do and I can see you're trying to implement something. Like the game today, yes, we won, but we went, as Peter said, we went back to a system that our previous manager used that damn near the entire fan base wanted us to move away from.
Yeah.
Like, and he's playing players in like we're just going back Loftus-Cheek at right wing back. We're going back to like a midfield pivot where it's Kovacic and X. It's like it's a front 3 where it's Havertz as the 9, like with a guy that's
Scott.
Say again.
Time is a flat circle.
I was going to say and we've got the 2 guys that he's up front with. We've got a winger that is kind of playing as a 10 because that's how he wants to, and then a 10 who's kind of playing slightly wider than he wants to, and he's the one that's dropping. Bro, you could have put Mount and like maybe Werner or Mount and like someone else. I don't know as that 10, and it's like we're seeing what Tuchel was playing. So it's like it's just a bit. It just feels like he's panicking, and it's like that. That's not what I want. I want him to show some conviction. Like
I'm all good with managers chasing results at a point in the season where that's like if we were like 3 or 4 points off like 4th, I would get it. I would understand this, but you can't brief me about patience and a vision and a project for 5 months to end up in a template where like everybody was complaining about the lack of a vision and the lack of a project, and that seems to be why again, if the owners didn't make it out like part of the reason Tuchel got sacked was for stuff like this, then I would have no problem with the guy in charge doing this. I'm not saying Tuchel owns this formation and you can't use it. My point is the people in charge seem to have an issue with that being the way the team is run. They made that decision. When you're
I also don't understand if this was going to be what you wanted to do. Why did you change the back 4 halfway through the season? Why did you just not stick with the back? Why did you just not stick with the back 3 the entire time? Play a back 3, play a back 3, and tell the Chelsea fans to suck it, like, and just play the back 3. Because at the end of the day, if that works and we're winning shit in a year's time, none of them are going to care. They're all going to kiss your feet and lick your nuts because we're winning shit now in this back 3. Like, no one's going to care. So what? Like, it just feels like, it just feels like there's no plan.
I need to see what happens next.
Yeah,
I need
see if
to
he does like Dortmund.
Because if we go back to a back 4 against Dortmund, it's like, actually no, I tell a lie. Dortmund I'd understand because the situation with players. Who are we playing after Dortmund?
Leicester. Away.
If against
Leicester.
Leicester, if against Leicester we go back to a back four, then all of this is just panicking and like just trying to get
I
results.
think it's
like,
save his job, Scott, because if he lost today or draw, he would have got sacked. wouldn't
then like what's the point of this then? Like there's no planning. It's now just literally trying to get a result for the sake of getting a result because there's no plan.
We knew it was by what he did on the 65th minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
panicking.
this goes back to what I was saying before. It's like, what's the hope? What's the plan? It's just like, cool. Like we're just.
It was literally this. It was literally, how far can I get? If we score, when we score, how far can I get? How far do I go out and then just like literally play for those points? And that's what he did. That's why I called it. Everyone goes, oh, I called it cowardly because there was no need to do it because Leeds weren't. Like I said, Kepa made no outstanding save today, right? It's not as if they hit the post or hit the bar or anything like that. One where it trickled across the line.
I'll say his best save came from their goalkeeper in the final minute.
It wasn't even. It was like a. It was that.
It's straight
And that's what Andrew. I'm saying his best save.
Back to when you're trying to find a solution or everything like that, it doesn't help with the amount of changes he makes. If you go through every successful team and even the best teams now, you have anywhere from 6 to 8 players that regularly start because you're trying to form some type of spine. Look at the Arsenal team. Apart from maybe right back and left back occasionally, you know who's going to start, right? You just know who's going to start. Same with City. It used to be the same with Liverpool. Even now with Man United, you know who's going to start.
Andrew, though, City is the one. It's the one like outlier from that, but that's because every single player in that whole City team,
such high
when
quality.
they come in, they are immediately bought in. They immediately know what they're doing when they are bought into that team. So you can make the amount of changes that you need to make. For example, say one game you go a front three, like Haaland always plays, but you go the two wingers as say Grealish and Foden. Next game you go swap those two and you go Alvarez and Mahrez. You know that those guys coming in are already aware of what they need to do in the team. They already know the patterns of play and everything, that it's a seamless transition, but because they're different players, they'll offer you slightly different. So Mahrez will offer you slightly different things that Grealish, maybe not Grealish, but like Foden will. And same way Alvarez will offer you a different type of player than Mahrez or Grealish or Foden will. So, and that's the thing. And you can change the midfield, and you can go with it. Like Rodri will always be in there most of the time. But you can go Gundogan or De Bruyne or Gundogan and Silva or Silva and De Bruyne. And again, because they're players of an elite level, number one, and because they are fully aware of the system, you can make the amount of changes that Pep makes, and it all works. It's kind of the same at Arsenal now. We're noticing the same at Arsenal now in terms of they can make a lot of changes, whether that be like Vieira comes in or Martinelli comes in, or whether that be like you said, the right back, left back. Like, but all of them know the system. They all get the system. They know the patterns of play down to a T. So even if you change a player, it's a seamless change because they are all aware of what they need to do in that system. They're all aware of what they need to do.
That's the problem I have with this team. It's like everyone goes, oh, well, how are we supposed to build chemistry? Well, so it doesn't help when he changes formation or he changes the players every 5 to 6 changes every time. How are you supposed to build up chemistry? And I know we've had injuries. But it's like you still have you've not really had that many injuries in the back four or the back three or whatever you want to put like that. You've kept the same goalkeeper. You've kept Enzo. He's played every game. You know, stuff like that. And you've kept Havertz and Felix now, and that's fine. But you still make 5 to 6 changes every game. I mean, how many changes were today? And the formation change as well. There was another 5 or 6. Wasn't there?
If we all have to do an experiment right now where we write down our best formation and our best 11 on a piece of paper, we're all going to have
different
2 or 3 different players in that team, and we might even have different shapes. That is where my lack of that's where I'm not going to give the benefit of the doubt in this scenario, and why I just don't really have a bunch of patience for this approach at this specific time. Like, we should have had the time to figure all of these things out. If you want to chase results, you better be in a position in the season where that's justified in your short-term approach. You know, but we saw Mudryk brought in, we saw him brought off the bench, we saw him started for 2 games, and we haven't really seen him since 2 or 3, however many he started. Haven't really seen him since. We saw Madueke get thrown in immediately. Now we haven't seen him for a while. We saw Ziyech emerge from doorsteps of PSG to playing. Now we see Sterling playing after Sterling. Granted, Sterling was injured, right? Havertz and Felix have been pretty constant, which I don't mind. Obviously, you guys know my thoughts on a certain Silky German, but I'm not the coach. Whatever. I'm not going to pretend like playing Aubameyang's an actual scenario at this point, so it's not even worth me getting mad about it. So I don't mind picking guys and going from there. I just don't know if we have a best 11 worked out given what's available. And if you're going to spend that amount of resources over the course of the season, I don't think it's unreasonable to have that. And if we don't, then we need to look at the people who decided to spend the money in the manner that they did.
Right.
The reason I'm saying I don't think these guys are that good is because there's not really been a lift provided in our team, other than you can say Felix came in and makes our attack a little bit better, which I agree with. But
Sure.
I don't think our floor has been raised because of a Mudryk or a Madueke per se. Evidence that they're not able to keep their place in the team, even they're both on the bench. Enzo, look, man, I will wait. I will wait as long as you guys want me to wait. But we're gonna have that conversation at some point. I will wait though. I am preparing a RICO case against our brother Enzo Fernandez. I'm preparing. The final whistle goes on the 28th of May. Wherever you guys want me to have the conversation, I'll have it. But I'm ready. I'm watching. I'm noticing a lot of things. I'm looking at a certain number 5's performance that left this club. I'm taking the statistical approach as well for all you tacticos on Twitter. So you can't come at me about this. But hey, man, cool player, World Cup winner, all that stuff. Cool, good player.
He's a cool player.
He's cool, man. He's our guys are cool. They're cool.
Haircut's terrible though.
I will say it does with the
They're
players.
not bastards though, which I need.
I agree with you, Peter. By the way,
I think most of them are that's the thing I will say about most of the players we signed is their mentality as individuals. I think is good. I think it's trying to. I think it's trying to mesh that with the rest of the team. Because if you listen to what they have done in terms of their careers, in terms of Enzo, Madueke, in terms of the interview he's done, especially the one the other day, Mudryk in terms of the stuff we see in terms of the gym, and Badic and whatnot. I think their
deadlift,
their individual mentalities are good. It's just that trying to mesh that in terms of a team. I don't know whether it's working. And I think that's the thing is I think the players we've brought in are good as individuals, but are they fitting in the team in the right way with the other players we've got is the thing. Because and that's where you look at it and go, I'm going to use him as an example, and I don't care if it pisses people off because Peter brought him up, I didn't. But you look at Jorginho, for example, you look at it and go, yeah, in hindsight, a midfield of him and Enzo is probably a lot more balanced and meshes a lot better than what we have now.
Didn't need hindsight though. That's the thing that kills me.
No, I know we didn't need hindsight. I said it, you said it, others said it, and it's that seems stupid. It's buying two wingers that, although they're really good, both want to do the same thing in terms of beat a guy off the dribble and want to cut inside. Does that really work? That means one of them has to not play, which fairs, I guess, but it probably means you're just gonna have to play Sterling on the right, which is the weaker of his two. Yeah, it's just
yep.
It does make you think, and and then we've got the biggest question mark is the Felix and Nkunku thing, because I get the depth thing, and it is good having depth, but I don't quite know how it's going to work. I can't figure out in my head how it's all going to work.
Having depth is cool if it's usable depth and there's not so much clutter in and around it that you can't maximize it, right? We've got a Pulisic who we saw him in training. Those might have been Photoshop pics. Let's be real. We don't know.
So training was in 2020.
We're gonna have another summer. We're gonna have another summer.
I saw Lampard in those clips, man. That's in
2020. We're gonna have another summer where the outgoing is gonna be so key. We're gonna have a lot of outgoing.
I don't even want to talk about new players. We
need to get players
7 or 8 of these guys.
The only new players I already said the only new players
Just the
I
ones
want
that
to
are
hear.
signed. In
No, it's not even that. The only new players I want to hear is a striker, a goalkeeper, and a DM. That is it. I don't want to hear anyone else.
No. Don't even tempt these. Don't allow these guys to get our hopes up with links to new players. I don't want to see some random. I don't want to see Lavia on people's green screens in June when we sign him. I want to see this. I need Conor Gallagher has joined whoever the fuck for 30 mil.
Yes.
I need Christian Pulisic is gone. I need Hakim Ziyech is finally gone. I need Aubameyang if you're not going to play him, gone. I need so many outgoings. I need so many before I can even.
That's the thing. I want to see. I want it to come to like after a few weeks in the window. I'm looking at our squad and my like when I'm doing a depth chart of our squad, it's like 25 players max.
No,
like
I don't even want. I want 18. I want 18 players.
That's fair, but like
Sheesh.
I'm saying for a max, I'm looking anywhere from 22 to 25 players max.
What do we need 25 players for? We're not in Europe, guys. What?
Yeah, it's fair. Fair.
What do we need 25 for?
You know what? At the end of the day, with everything that we talked about with the players and all that stuff, I guess we're going to have to come back and analyze if these players were worth it, if they were correct, and if they're going to fit into the system at the end of the season. They will stand the test of time. These players, some of them have some asterisks on their name. You know, there is some gelling to be done and the chemistry and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens, you know. But that being said, we gave you a whopping fucking show, people in the chat. So y'all better smash that like button if you haven't already done so. Make sure you're subscribing. If you're new to the channel, hit the bell notification. Check out the links in the description. Check out our memberships, all 4 tiers, all the fun stuff right there. Big up to everyone that came onto the panel today. Ahmed, Chris, Scott, Peter. I almost said Poch in. Andrew and Carlito, of course. Guys, we'll be back again tomorrow for Casually Chelsea show. We're going to talk about some good things that are maybe happening, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There are certain people leaving the club that we're gonna get to talk about.
Bro, I tell you what, party. I'll tell you, I'm cracking open a bottle of whatever I can find. I'm smoking a cigar on stream. I don't care, bro.
No, Scott. Job's not finished.
It's gonna be
as long as Gallagher is here, the job's not finished.
I don't care, bro. The thing is, Gallagher can go at any moment, bro. I need to see the tears. I need to drink them in.
I need to see Twitter explode.
This is all fun and games until we have another Conor Gallagher rise to the academy in 3 years. We need to show the
we will see. We will see.
I need those Sonny tears. I need those Mediano tears. I need or like Nini tears. I just need them, bro. I need to.
It'll be fun.
Album that
what is that, Gallagher?
That produces these hard
we'll see.
No skills, man. We need to salt
tomorrow. We'll see how close we are to that D-Day to come. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a wonderful one and stay casual as always. Peace.